Hello there, and welcome back to the SWTVC show live right here on YouTube, the live stream home of the SWTVC crew and the ongoing push for the continued existence, expansion, and success of the heritage scale of Star Wars collecting. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm stumbling over my words already. It's great. I am Evan, or as you may know me on Instagram, at Mile High Ground, and today I am joined by the brains of most of the operations we're going to go through. Today, it is the Vintage Concepts himself, John Lindquist. How you doing, man?
Hello, good. How are you?
Oh, good, man.
I'm pretty tired. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's this is gonna be fun. Buckle up. And finally, I think we might be joined by Tyler at some point today, but you know who is here right at the moment? One of the long lost SWTVC members with a sexy accent who disappeared during a previous March Madness tournament, and he's finally back. No, we're not talking about Carlo, who is still stuck somewhere in the world between worlds, but somehow Lewis returned. It's Space Hut. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. So I've obviously been around. You know, I've been around behind the scenes. I'm still weekly, dealing with the SWTVC posts. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been front of house. Definitely, I think it was March last year.
Yeah,
that was surprising. I was looking through our old live streams and stuff, and said it's been a minute, even though we talk to you pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Now we get to share you with everybody else.
Yeah, how's the collection room and all that stuff going?
The collection room is still my daughter's bedroom at the moment. I'm still waiting to try and move her out of there so I can get into that room. But yeah, it's coming on this year. This year it will be done, so I'll be able to get back, and I won't have stick a poster up behind me. I'll actually have some collection back behind me. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's just get the headline out of the way here real quick. You've seen it probably on Instagram. If you're doing two things at once, it's all live. Top 25 submissions for March Madness VI are now open. So if we didn't just say somehow Lewis returned, we'd say somehow January returned. But I guess we just said it anyway. That means that we're currently asking for your top 25 most wanted all new Star Wars The Vintage Collection figures, which you can submit at this link that you can see here on this graphic, linktree/SWTVC. Submissions are open until 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, January 25th. So you have until then to submit or edit your list throughout February. We'll use this data to compile the 6th annual TVC March Madness bracket. We'll come back to this in a minute, though, with plenty more analysis. But first, Happy New Year, everybody. John, do you want to take it from here?
Sure. Well, it was just a few short weeks ago that we were in 2025. We ran down our final thoughts of the year. I believe Tyler was there. Our friend Toys of the Way was there. Now we're looking ahead to 2026. So we know that we have 2 waves and a 2-pack on the way this spring, a gunship at some point later, and the promise of a Cantina 4-pack finally being revealed at some point this month, as Steve and Brandon from the brand team teased at Red 5 Toys and Collectibles recently. So yes, and Lewis, you weren't able to join us for the recap, but did you have any additional thoughts you wanted to share on 2025? I'll just say, I know distribution was kind of wacky over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I largely agree with the sentiment that you guys, shared. I think overall, I think we had a positive year. I think we had a lot of good new stuff. We had more new stuff. I think there's some odd decisions still being made, and there's still some disappointing, production things going on with wrists and things like that. But I think overall, the year was good, and I think it's a gradual improvement. So I'm happy with where we were, and I'm happy with where we're going. And I think what's interesting this year is, I don't know if you guys mentioned it on the stream, but this is obviously the year that Steve Evans really gets to take hold of the reins on this, because we know up until now, Steve has had, I'm sure he's been able to tinker with things and have some input, but I think largely he's still inherited a lot of what we saw last year. So I think this year is going to be interesting from that point of view as well, to see how much he changes that, how much things like what we're doing here today may influence him or not. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2026.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we've got the fourth member of the crew just showed up. So before we say hello to the chat, hopefully he's ready. I'm going to throw him on the stage. Let's say hello to Tyler, SW Collector 3.75. What you doing, man? How's it going?
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm battling a really horrible headache. It's manageable and tolerable right now, so I'm going to try to get through this whole stream and put on a good face.
Well, luckily you've got, January stuff with the top 25. Then you have February, March stuff to look forward to where you can kind of take a little bit of a breather while John and I drive ourselves absolutely crazy staring at stuff.
Then it's back to the hourly posts after that for you guys, for the two of you.
It's my favorite time of the year
work.
because me and Tyler get to have some time off. It's brilliant.
Well, it looks like we've got 70 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your, New Year's weekend, your first Saturday of 2026 to spend it with us dorks talking about toys, action figures, and making them compete in thought experiments. So let's see. We got a bunch of folks here. I see some familiar names in the chat, including, let's see. I had it. We've got Dean. How's it going, man? Happy New Year. We've even got a Boss Bounty showing up. What's up, man? It's that time of year
again. Yes. Welcome, Tim. How you doing?
Yes, indeed.
Let's see. Oh, and Riley Bob popped in. Thank you so
Tim.
much for the super chat. He says, Happy New Year, gentlemen. New year, hopefully new figures aplenty. And with the madness of March upon us, this is truly where the fun begins. Yes. For who? Well, we'll find out. But we got Jeff Russell in the chat. Let the games begin. And here's another name we all know. John Miko. What's up, man?
Yo.
And John's spirit animal here, Tanith. Tanith Toy Arts here. Hey, all, I'd like to get ahead of the music and start advocating. You vote for Padme Amidala Imperial Declaration if you want unmade Padme outfits. It's time now that her Geonosis outfit is out of the way.
And if I forget any obscure detail during the stream, I know Tanith will be in the comments correcting me.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir.
Toys of the Jedi. Oh, sorry.
I'll get back to looking for Stranger Things figures for you soon enough, Tanith.
I saw our friend Finn, Findor Moon, figured out that there was more Stranger Things figures coming. I can't keep track of that line. I don't know. I see them every once in a while, but God bless everybody. So,
Yes.
all right. Let's see. What do we got? Should we jump to the rest of the outline here?
Sure.
Stuff?
Do you want me to take on the new reveals?
Real quick, Boss says, anyone else having connection issues or just me? Let us know if anything we're doing is coming through wrong, but you guys all look good to me. So, and also you're coming through fine for me as well.
Someone told me to stream.
Sweetheart.
Someone told me to stream from a back to tank. I wish I could do that.
All right, cool. John, we got some new reveals.
Yes, there haven't been any more TVC announcements or reveals since we streamed a couple weeks ago. But we did get some new Disney Parks Droid Factory releases. So I know you wanted to celebrate the love in Ewok style, but if the Black Series Cupid Ewok ain't your bag, now we finally have some 3.75-inch Valentine's Day figures. We got R2 LVU and R2 INO. I love you and I know. Which is Tyler. If Tyler doesn't have a headache already, I'm sure he does now. But we got some pink and red astromech droids for Valentine's Day with little heart accessories on the top that say beep and boop in Arabic. Yes, I translated those.
Wow.
I believe last year we got our first Easter droid. So now we finally got our first Valentine's Day droid. So the wackiness continues. And then, let's see. People talking about the connection issues. All right, let's see. Okay, so then we got another droid coming up, R5K6, so the history of that is that Hasbro released one of this guy on the R4 G9 sculpt and the pretty hard to find and now very expensive Scramble on Yavin pack back in 2009. And Disney Parks had pieces to make this droid on their Droid Factory stations, though now after the pandemic they're only available in France, I believe. This version adds the foot wires that were not in the Droid Factory pieces. I have that guy here. They were only recently added back in. There was some confusion on left and right legs. But I got to do a deep dive on this guy real quick because we don't have enough to talk about. But so R5K6 flies with Red Leader Garvin Dryce at the Battle of Yavin, or does he? Because Red Leader has this dome in the X-Wing behind him, but the briefing room scene apparently shows this droid with this dome with mostly white and red panels. Mostly white with red panels. And then on the Death Star, there's a red and black R5 with his dome that more closely matches his design. Maybe he's a covert operative. We don't know. But the merchandise has said for a couple decades almost that this is R5K6, so it's R5K6, who also includes part of the TC332 as part of the new Droid Factory branding, the Build-A-Droid series and the Droid Factory branding, which will be releasing one figure per month to build this guy, including these guys. I'll just say real quick, it's not clear which droid the blue guy is, but there are memorable blue protocol droids at the Resistor Droid Bar on Plazier 15 in Mando Season 3, and on the New Republic ship Vesper in Ahsoka Season 1. The numbering matches Ahsoka's 332nd Clone Troopers, so maybe it's that one, I don't know. But other monthly upcoming releases include CW24 on February 6th, Grief Karga's Copper Protocol Droid from Mando Season 3, probably named after CW Carl Weathers, and unfortunately the date of his untimely passing, 2024, which is a repaint of this guy, GS C1B, from the Book of Boba Fett set. If I can say any more random letters, let me know. And then we got Q2K2 on March 6th, which is maybe a typo, maybe a rename of QTKT from the Clone Wars. Season 5 droid D-Squad Arc, who also recently turned up in the Dark Droids comic, who was previously done on the Bar2D2 sculpt. But this one looks a lot more vibrant and accurately colored. And yes, what are the chances we get all of the D-Squad through these Disney releases? I hope. That is my dream.
Would be nice.
Yes. So, and then there'll be 3 more monthly figures after that. So something new to look forward to outside of TVC to supplement your 3.75-inch Star Wars figure addictions.
And for once, we actually are getting those in the UK, because quite often I know the the boxed mystery crates we struggle to get at times. I didn't know if we'd see these ones or not, but they are up. The Valentine's ones haven't gone up yet though. Yeah, we're a bit backwards on that, but
okay.
Good.
I ordered these and they already shipped. Did you order these yet?
I've ordered the Build-A-Droid one.
Okay, nice.
I saw that the Build-A-Droid one, I think Yakface posted about it, got a price bump this morning from the $16.99 to the $19.99.
Yeah, which is the same price they were showing up in the
At the
parks
parks
yesterday. So it's a little spendy.
Oh joy! Oh joy!
Yes, and then spreading them out across the years, it has an issue with saving on shipping. But I procrastinated on getting the Valentine's droid, so I got them all together and saved a little bit that way.
As I proposed to folks, you can solve that by just buying a lightsaber each time.
Yes.
You'll spend enough to qualify for free shipping and have a cool lightsaber, Android. So,
which, by the way, is like truly the tactic that everybody uses. It's not just on that website, but anywhere. People will avoid paying for shipping, and they will just add, let me add $80 more to my order just so I don't have to pay $10 for shipping. Like, dude.
Yeah.
I bought
I've
Micro
done
Galaxy
that.
Squadron
The
stuff. I don't need.
logic just kills me, man. But people do it. People really do it. So.
Oh man. All right.
Dang.
Well, John, any other reveals?
I don't think that's it. So there are no other reveals. So let's get into it. To quote another protocol droid, keep that theme going. Here we go again.
All right. So
Wow.
we're staring down the barrel of the 6th annual TVC March Madness competition. Whether this is your first time joining us or your 6th, welcome back, whatever. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have fun. So, John, give us a little bit of background.
All right. If you've been following, you've heard a lot of this before. Maybe this exact spiel from last year, since my copy-paste function is going to get a good workout this year. So bear with me as I refresh our memories. And if you're new, welcome to the party. We all have figures we want to see in the vintage collection. We've all been asking Hasbro about these in one way or another over the years, over the decades, on forums, at conventions, and letters to magazines, on the social media site run by the questionable billionaire of your choice. There have been official and unofficial fan polls, all of them great snapshots of everyone's desires and demands over the years. We kind of wanted to throw everyone's wish lists together to see, what rose to the top, what the common refrains were, to hopefully bring us all a little bit closer to getting our dream figures. Maybe not all of us getting everything we want all the time, but making a few people a little more happy. Maybe. Is that so bad a goal here, folks? Most importantly of all, we wanted to celebrate our love of Star Wars collecting with others who love it too. So how do we do this? Well, every year, including right now, we ask for your top 25 most wanted all new TVC figures throughout January. We assign them points at that link right there, linktr.ee/SWTVC. Go do it right now. Submit your list.
It'll also be on the bottom corner the whole stream. So just in case you forget, it's going to be staring at you the whole time.
Yes, and you have time. But we ask for your most wanted figures, then we assign them points based on the rankings, crunch the numbers, make a lot of graphics throughout February, and then have them compete against each other in a fast-paced elimination-style bracket in March. Evan's idea. This is about what figure you want to see first, not what you want to see at the expense of anything else, since any figure that places in the bracket, or even in the top 100, or even in the top 2,000, is worth making. With thousands of characters that get submitted every year, it is a badge of honor to even make the bracket. So, with a galaxy of characters to choose from, who are you putting on your list? First of all, we'll be getting into our list in a little bit, but we do have some guidelines as you build your list, as we always do. Number one, which is also on the Instagram post, and I believe will be on a Facebook post and everything else. Anybody who wants to share it, please share it. It helps us out to get as much coverage as possible. We want everybody who has ever even thought about buying a TVC figure to participate in this, please. And thank you. Spread it to the Discords, spread it to the Reddits and the Twitters and everything else. What's up, Tyler?
Yes, I wanted to really emphasize the sharing real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, John. I'm going to say this probably again at the end of the stream, but I don't know if you guys have noticed on Instagram, it's become really challenging to reach people. The algorithm has just been particularly punishing lately. It's very difficult. Basically, our understanding of the algorithm is that it's designed to favor what makes your eyes look at the screen for longest. So reels are number one, and then carousel posts are number two because you're still swiping through pictures the whole time. But single picture post images really suffer with the new algorithm, and that's particularly difficult for this community that focuses on figure photography, right? So I'm going to ask you guys to help us this year in sharing, putting it in your stories, telling your friends, just doing everything you can to make people aware of this event, because we really struggle to get posts out these days. So thank you for your help. Carry on.
Amen. Spread the word, everybody.
Yeah, spread the word.
Any hep here would be hot, as Mr. Binks once said. So, back to the guidelines. Number one, submit your list at the form at that link, and feel free to share your list. Please do share it in comments on social media. Make your own posts, post it up around town, whatever you want to do.
Template.
Yes, put it up at coffee shops. Well, yeah, there's a template available in that as well. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. But you have to submit your list at the Google form to have your choices counted. I'm not going around the internet every year like I used to find every single list.
We did that for 3 years?
Yeah.
And that was choice.
Last Figure Standing showed you can have them come to you instead of searching for them, which helps me out quite a bit. There's still a lot of work to do, but it still helps me out. So, all right, number two, it's a new one for this year, but I thought it went without saying, but apparently it didn't, because one list per person. One list per person. One person, one list of up to 25 figures. If you need to make an edit to your list, please use the link that is emailed to you. It will be emailed to everybody. You can search for March Madness submissions. If you lose it, and you'll be fine, you'll find it. If you are submitting an additional list for a child, which some people have done over the years and told me about, please indicate that in the additional info field at the bottom of the submission, so that I don't throw it out because it looks like you submitted 2 lists. So, yes, you'll receive that. Thanks for filling out this form email, so search for that as well. But number 3, rank your choices in order. Your most wanted at number 1. Again, that gets 25 points, and it goes on down until your bottom ranked figure gets 1 point, which helps the rankings as we enter the tournament. Number 4, be specific. Please, if the character has multiple looks, please specify the outfit, scene, and/or media property they're from. For the love of the dark side this year, folks, we've talked about it before, but please indicate which ROS Red Robes Palpatine you are talking about. We have Revenge of the Sith Jedi Arrest, when he fights Mace Windu and Kit Fisto and the others. Revenge of the Sith Imperial Declaration, where he turns the Republic into the Empire. Rise of Skywalker Resurrected Palpatine, where he has his cool new red robes that appear out of nowhere. Which is it? Help me to help you. Help me to help you, folks.
And there's a lot of characters too that this applies to. This applies to, like Luthen, for example. Luthen has many different outfits. We really would like people to specify which outfit they want. Clea as well. don't list like Luke Skywalker because we don't know what that
Yeah.
means. Like
Yeah.
which version of Luke Skywalker, you know?
And some characters we might eventually condense various ones. We do that for Mon Mothma and Luthen and things like that. But for now, please be specific.
Yes.
Okay, so number 5, 1 character per slot. Do not list multiple characters on a single line, such as the Bad Batch or the Knights of Ren. The only exceptions to this rule are Clone Commando. We've done this the past couple of years. Various commandos will be combined. So if you want Gregor, Delta Squad, the Tantis, Imperial Royal Guard, any others, just use one line that says Clone Commando, because otherwise additional entries will be removed. 2 tubes. They will be combined as they always are. So if you want both Edrio and Benthic, use one line that says 2 tubes. Same with the Gela twins, as well as the Great Mothers, Clothau, Actropah, Lachesis. I don't know. I'm the only person who has pronounced those in the past year. But use one line that says the Great Mothers from Ahsoka. Is poop stepping English Jar Jar Binks on Tatooine specific? Yes, or you can use Jar Jar Binks parentheses icky icky goo. So, and then we've talked about the Bad Batch before, but on that topic, separate them, but we will condense and combine the disparate season looks as we did for the Rebels characters. So please only vote for one version of these characters instead of multiple versions. I think most of you are good at that at this point, because as we saw with Black Series, one version of the characters begets their other looks. Specify which one you want, since we will keep track of that, though. But we'll condense and combine. And then number 6, focus on new tooling. This is about new figures, not repacks or repaints. But for example, clones and Imperial officers, great, we love them. But the majority of the tooling for them already exists, and they would require little encouragement for newly created parts from Hasbro. So let's get creative. Let's have fun. Let's push for the further expansion of the modern tooling library for TVC. There have been so many great parts added. If somebody can reuse an arm or a leg or something, I'm not going to yell at you about that. But to that end, Tyler might, but we're going to keep a lid on that this year a little bit, hopefully. So, however, here's something to look forward to for you Imperial Officer fans. Something to look forward to after March Madness. Our friend Ultimate Battle Station on Instagram, ultimate.battle.station, recently launched an Imperial Officer visual guide, which is awesome. And this spring we'll be hosting a poll determining your priorities for these Imperial Officer characters. So be sure to follow him. You can download his visual guides there. Let them know if there's anything they forgot. And yeah, so
I know that Tana Toy Art made an Excel spreadsheet or some sort of chart detailing all this stuff too. So Tana, if you want to partner with him and join forces and keep tagging the brand team and make them aware of how much can be used from one single torso and so forth. I won't go down this whole rabbit hole, but I'm just saying, like,
yes.
You guys would make a great team. So
yes, and he's like Boss says, he has a great page on Instagram. He just had a post about all the Andor characters that are doing well. He's pushes for a lot of stuff. This is a good idea. Yes, we're bringing people together.
Community.
It was actually really funny because
we could use other.
I was just telling Chris Rife the other day not to forget about making Imperial officers because we have the tooling for that. And then they revealed Veers, and it was like, yeah.
Yes,
he's like, I got you, man.
Veers always did.
The thing is, I'd say that they do these definitive sculpts like the clones, and then you're kind of waiting for this stuff to get reused, and all of a sudden it feels like they're moving on to something else. So you do feel sometimes, I know we discount them really from these polls, but you do want to sometimes push some of this reuse just to make use of this good stuff that we've got.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Makes sense.
And then Aqualish Doug says, all Imperial officers will be partial tools, but Tarkin keeps appearing on March Madness. He actually has never been on March Madness. He's been near it.
He's been in the top 100, right?
Yeah, he's been in the top 60 something, so he's been close. But I would still say let's focus our Imperial officer efforts on this poll. But last rule, most important guideline, have fun. That's what it's all about. Don't stress about stuff. If you say, oh, this character and this character would reuse the same, have fun. Put it on the list. It's going to be fine. All right, another important thing, you have from now until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, January 25th, to submit or edit your list. We are closing a little bit earlier this year. Usually we run to the very end of January. We're ending about a week earlier to give me more time to comb through the data. Last year was, I think I pushed it up a little bit, and I was crunchy. I was getting a little crunchy, folks. But this should give you plenty of time to edit or submit your list. Edit it if anything gets revealed before the end of submissions. Because as we mentioned, we're expecting the Cantina 4-pack to be revealed this month at some point. So if you're big into the classic glup shittos of Mos Eisley, and you want a full list of 25, you'll be able to submit or edit your list after that has been revealed if need be. And yes, as we said, be sure to share the link and spread the word. Links right there, linktree/SWTVC. And yes, one great way to do that is also by creating your own graphic using the shareable top 25 template at the link tree that Evan created.
Yes. If you go, actually, let me just pull that up real quick.
And you also highlight HoloNet's comment when you get a chance.
Which Mara outfit are they making? Currently none, because
Yeah, so just to be clear, they have not confirmed that she's coming. She did win March Madness 2025, as we were going to discuss. But the outfit that people want is sort of her, classic generic
the cat suit
outfit. Yeah.
But I will say, and I made a note, please note this is just for fun to see where fans' priorities are with the vintage collection. This is not officially involved with Hasbro or Lucasfilm in any way. Hasbro is not guaranteed to make any characters from the tournament, but Hasbro Star Wars brand team members are following along and paying attention. So this is a good way to let them know. They're not beholden to doing a single thing that we are talking about here. But they're
not
paying attention.
Obligated, but they pay attention and they encourage this and they follow it very closely.
And they want us to tell them what we want. And they want to make us what we want to buy.
Yeah.
Hashtag give me all the glups.
All right. Just since we were talking about it, here's what that link looks like. If you go to the link tree, it is this. The top link is going to be the submission form. That is where you're going to submit your top 25. That's where it counts. Yes, you do need a Google account for it. Them's the breaks. It's easy to make one if you just need a throwaway for it. Below that is the editable top 25 templates. So that's where you will find the transparent PNG, which is just a blank image of the template with little holes for you to line up your character images. You can do that in free software like Canva is really good for that. I know some folks were doing that last year. There is also a Photoshop document that you can use and edit if you are capable of using Photoshop. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible for you guys. We love seeing your guys' lists. We love seeing them shared. We love seeing the communication, the community roll, kind of get together and talk about these things, these priorities. So get your list out there, get your picks out there, and here's hopefully the tools to do so.
Yeah, I just want to say, last year we saw a ton of these, of people making their own lists using the template, tons of template images of people's individual lists. I think I saw probably like dozens, maybe hundreds of them. Certainly dozens, many lists, and we want to see that again. And if you guys have buddies who are sort of feeling down or apathetic, and they're like, "Oh, Hasbro doesn't listen to us anyway. There's no point in this." Like, yes, listening, absolutely listening, and we want to represent as much of the community in this data as possible. We reach out to every little corner of the collecting community that we can possibly find to get people to participate in this. And your data matters, your list matters, your voice matters. So please participate and share.
Yes. If I can,
Sorry, John. Was this what you were going to go for?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I had just brought up that little link. If you go to the link tree, this is responding to Scott Hinsey. How do you make a template list? I've never done one before. So I'm going to assume you probably don't use Photoshop. You can use Photoshop if you do know how to do that. But in that link, in the link tree, it's a Google Drive that's got a .png transparent version of the template. If you download that, you can then load that into a software, which I think is web-based like Canva. It's a web-based, browser-based photo editing. You can do it in any free photo editing thing. You'll just, be putting character images underneath. I know there's some folks that are out there. I had some folks reach out to me asking about it. Some other folks reached out to me saying that they, direct folks to them for, any help with getting that figured out. There's, as always with any of these editing things, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but there are so many free consumer tools that you can hopefully use. We've provided you with everything you should need for it. If you do need help with that, try reaching out. Google Google your questions. That might help you a little bit too. Or John Miko says, ask ChatGPT to help you do this with Canva. I usually don't advocate for AI, but you know what? Anything that I don't have to do, I will be stoked on that as well. So
Rezakai says Microsoft Paint. Gotcha.
yep, that also can work, I'm sure, if that still exists.
Two things real quick. Danvin Carr asked, are smaller creatures like the Wampa or Nexu allowed? Please, no creatures.
Yep.
In terms of what we're looking for here, we're looking for you to list things that can fit on a standard mainline TVC card and bubble. Nothing too big, no creatures, no vehicles, nothing crazy. Human size, or alien equivalent figure is what we're sort of looking for here. Again, it needs to be able to fit in a standard bubble and card back.
So you're saying the Bendu is not going to count?
Bendu's way too big. I've seen people list wild stuff like that in the
Things
past,
like
so please.
Punkrell, Ninth Sister, that's fine. They'll be stretched.
Yeah.
They're still
larger
humanoid characters, but they're not creatures.
And that's going to be on kind of Hasbro to figure out how to release those.
Yeah.
And maybe one day somebody will step up. Some hero will
Is
step up and do a
Grumgar the
creature
big white
poll.
dude from Rogue One?
No,
No,
he's the big.
TFA.
He's like Fat Bosk from Force Awakens at Maz's Castle.
Okay. I know how you're talking about, yeah.
He's not Bosk, but he has the same outfit, kind of.
And then Tanith can you bring up Tanith's comment?
Which
For the record?
Yeah, and we'll be getting into.
We're going to talk about that, yeah.
Not the top 100, but we are going to be taking a look back at the previous tournaments to see trends and Hasbro's progress, because it does matter. And one thing, real quick, before I get into that, to show that they are listening, yesterday, Hero Collections, Brandon from the brand team, posted that, yes, he does look at fan polls, including March Madness, Last Figure Standing, the various Black Series polls. He literally showed pictures of them, of the results of those polls in like official Hasbro documents that they use to plan the line, to look at planning the line. So your efforts do not go wasted here, folks.
Definitely not.
But yeah, so and clearly, yes, not that they only do this, and we'll get into all that later. But for now, let's look back at the 5 freaking years ago. We'll be sharing the brackets and top 100 list on our Instagram page throughout the month, as we have before. And some of that stuff is already in our story highlights on Instagram. But let's take a look back. Cast your mind back to 2021. Wow. Mandalorian Season 2 had just ended. Razor Crest campaign was a few months in the rear view. This year we got about 125 lists the very first year. Now we're getting about 10 times that.
We were new. The thing about that was we started SWTVC in September of 2020. Mm-hmm. So yeah, January 2021, we'd barely been doing anything. So
yes, but that year Bo-Katan Kryze was the #1 ranked choice, as well as the tournament winner. She was released less than a year later, so she was clearly already in development, since it takes at least 12 to 18 months to develop and release a figure, plus additional planning and finding a place to fit them in the line, all that good stuff. But this is a way to show Hasbro support, not only for the winner, but for every other figure on the bracket and the top 100 and on every list, and to see where Hasbro's priorities line up with collectors' priorities. So it's valuable to look at both the initial January submission rankings as well as the March Madness tournament, which we will do right now. So from the, as Tana said, so we will bring you back up now, because I didn't go about the top 100, but 66 of the top 100 from 2021 have been made.
He's generally pretty good with his facts, so I'm going to...
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's probably accurate.
So
pretty remarkable.
And then from the initial submissions here, all of the top 20 have been made, and a total of 42 from the top 64 on the bracket, which is pretty damn good. So from the bracket, Hasbro has made all of the final 4, 7 of the Elite 8, because we still need Savage Opress, who now has a beautiful Black Series sculptures waiting to be shrunk down for TVC. They've made 12 of the Sweet 16. We still need Savage plus Ponkrell, Gar Saxon, and the Jedi Temple Guard, who also now has a Black Series sculpt just waiting there, just begging to be shrunk down for TVC. And not to say they don't still have work to do, obviously, but it is fun to look back a few years later, see how much progress has actually been made. We were begging for a lot of these Mandoverse characters back in the day, and now we're saying, all right, look, what else you got?
Yeah.
So a year later, 2022, speaking of more Mandoverse, the Book of Boba Fett was airing. Razor Crest was arriving around this time. We got about 430 lists this year. Count Dooku was the #1 ranked choice, with Dark Trooper, A New Hope, Luke and Leia, and Director Krennic rounding out the top 5. Since we didn't have an Imperial officer in the line yet, if you can believe that. Number 22 ranked Chrysanthemum won the bracket very narrowly against number 48 Pre Vizsla, showing again the power of the Clone Wars characters in this tournament. And from the list submissions,
been made.
Yep. And so from the list submissions, Hasbro has made the top 12. 17 of the top 20. We still need Baze, Malbus, the Client, and Simaloo. Sweet Simaloo, first mention, not last on the stream. They made 21 of the top 25. We still need the above, plus the second Sister Inquisitor. And they've made 35 of the top 64, so more than half of that bracket has been made. And then from the final, from the bracket tournament, you can pause your screen and read all these names if you like. Yeah. From the bracket tournament, Hasbro has made the final 4. The Elite 8, who is now complete thanks to getting Asajj Ventress recently. 14 of the Sweet 16. We still need Saw Gerrera and Tech. And then Tanith said 45 made from this year from the top 100. Thank you, Tanith. Thank you, Tanith. Never tell me the odds, but HoloNet1 says those are pretty good odds. So
They are indeed.
2023.
I mean, when you think about all the hundreds, maybe thousands of characters that they could be, many of them are coming from lists that we've provided to them that we've specific. Pretty good. They are listening, folks.
And sometimes it's just the priorities line up, as we said, and sometimes things are already in development when we're asking for them, but it still helps to advocate for things.
Oh, yeah,
Can you pull up Evan's comment?
Yeah. Still laugh at my daughter's submission list that year in 2022 for, quote, Emo Chewbacca, which is Chrysanthemum.
That was
Kevin
so
Hughes.
funny.
That's
oh
a good
my
one.
gosh.
Sweet.
Then 2023, when we were doing this, Bad Batch Season 2 was airing. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor had aired their first season since the previous tournament. That year we got about 670 lists, with A New Hope, Princess Leia ranked at #1, with Luke very close at #2. But #3 ranked Count Dooku ended up winning the tournament against his apprentice, Asajj Ventress. And those names should sound familiar, obviously because they're very well-known Star Wars characters, but they've also joined the line over the past year and change. So from the submissions, Hasbro has made the top 6. 8 of the top 10 still need Luthen Rail and Baze Malbus. Again, 2 names you'll be seeing a lot throughout these various polls. They made 16 of the top 20. Still need the above, plus Saw Gerrera and the Client. 29 of the top 64, so not quite half the bracket. And 34 of the top 100. So from the bracket, Hasbro has made the Final 4 and the Elite 8, both of which Asajj Ventress just helped complete, which is awesome to see. 14 of the Sweet 16, we still need Saw Gerrera and Pong Krell. One of the Elite, and then, one of the Elite 8 that we never totally expected to get made was the Tonica Sisters, who also won the first Last Figure Standing tournament after this in 2023, put together by John Mika from the TVC Facebook group in the chat, Tim from Bosk's Bounty, also in the chat unless his YouTube is messing up, and Chris from Bantha Skull. They asked for your top 10 list without a ranking, then held a tournament where voting would whittle it down over a few weeks. A little bit different way of looking at the data, more condensed to the top 10 instead of the madness of the top 64. And 9 of those 10 have been made, including, and the Tonica's won, although Balin Skull got the most submissions, which was also true for us in March Madness in 2024.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. So by now, Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka Season 1 had aired. Bad Batch Season 3 had aired between February and May, so it overlapped with the tournament, but not the list submissions. The Ghost HasLab campaign had just ended a few months prior. We got around 1,218 list submissions, 1,218, if you prefer that way of doing it. Balin was
real
ranked...
quick, we jumped from 400, or was that in 2022?
22. Yeah, we did 600 some.
600 something. Yeah.
670.
So we almost doubled it that year, which was pretty dang good.
That was a huge jump. I remember that and how proud we were.
Yep.
Awesome.
So yeah, Balin was ranked #1, as we said. He made it into the championship, but ultimately fell to number 15, Pong Krell. I believe partly since people assumed Balin was a given, but nothing is a given, as both Padme and Newt Gunray said, but I'll do it in Padme's voice so I don't get canceled. You assume too much.
Yeah, and Pong won, almost 2 years ago now, and still has not materialized.
Yes.
So
hopefully,
I think that people should return probably to pushing for this character. Don't assume think they hurt us, but it is important to still continue to show sustained interest.
Hmm.
So,
Some people, yeah.
go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, some people say, oh, the message has already been sent. Sometimes I feel that way about certain things, but
Sometimes you need to send it again.
we got to send it again. So, but since then, Hasbro has released or announced all of the top 5, 8 of the top 10. Again, we still need Luthen and Baze. They've done 12 of the top 20 and 17 overall of the top 64. But Hasbro has pulled back on pipeline reveals since then, so we don't know how many more could possibly await us in the near future. And then 22 out of 100 from 24 from the top 100. Pretty cool. Sci-Fi Dude says TVC Pankrell. Yes! Okay. So from the bracket then, Hasbro has released 3 of the final 4. Still need Pankrell. 4 of the Elite 8. Still need him. Plus Wrecker, Baze Malbus, and Echo. And they made 7 of the Sweet 16. Still need the above. Plus Jedi Temple Guard, Plo Koon, Keller and Beck, Tech, and Luthen Rail. And then the second annual Last Figure Standing Tournament, that was when Arlyle Shoes, after the Mos Eisley Cantina HasLab, after he barely missed out on getting in there, he took it all, but the Stranger posed some danger. And then 6 of the 12 characters have been made since then, which is pretty awesome. And then last year, for us, a year ago, this year has 2025 has felt like roughly 100 years. But if you think all the way back that far, the Acolyte had aired around summer of 24, and then Skeleton Crew was around the holiday season. So they had debuted their one and possibly only seasons by then. The Ghost had just arrived around the 2024 holiday season. The Cantina was still on its way, and or season 2 was just a dream on the horizon. But last year we got, that's not true, we got 1,261 good usable lists. I transposed 2 of the numbers. So it was about the same as we got in 24, a little bit better. We could be better this year. Let's get more lists, folks. Spread the word.
So can you repeat the number one more time from 25?
Yeah, 1,261.
All right, folks, 1261. That's the number to beat.
But
Much like Veer said, maximum firepower, maximum participation. Right? Hit that shield generator and give us those lists.
Yes, but don't repeat your lists. Just one list per person. Again.
Yeah.
Let's get the numbers up correctly. So
yes, authentically. Yes.
Yes. But so from those lists last year, the Stranger was ranked number 1 going into the tournament. But hot on the heels of the Heir of the Empire 3-pack reveal, number 17, Mara Jade, ended up skywalking away with it all. And yes, I know I gave her sleeves on this image, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but I've updated it for this year. Don't you worry. So given her history winning a 3.75-inch fan pole every few years, can we just remember to update her every time we get a new articulation upgrade, please?
What do you know? People like Mara.
Yeah.
But
and
she
give
won
her a
against
decent
fans.
hairstyle. For the love of God, just give her a decent hairstyle.
Yeah.
No 80s rock band head sculpts, please.
So, as we mentioned, Hasbro doesn't do many pipelines these days, so we don't know what else could be revealed this year. But just since the bracket, we've had reveals of 3 of the top 10, 7 of the top 64. So that includes number 1, Stranger, 3, Crosshair, 7, Asajj Ventress, number 19, Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith, number 22, Carson Teva, number 42, Agent Kallus, and number 54, Padme Amidala Geonosis, and then 3 more of the top 100, so that's 10 of 100 for good measure. Number 65, Shakti, barely missed a bracket, she made it 1 year. 76, Moff Gideon, Dark Trooper Armor, and 81, Imperial Armored Commando. And then a few months after Andor Season 2 came out, Luthen Rail was able to take it all. We Luthened up and we got Rail in the 3rd Last Figure Standing Tournament. If you can zoom in, so I don't have to squint.
I can, but yeah.
There we go. All right. When we do the preview, some things are different sizes, and you get very surprised. Anyway, there we are. So one of the top 12 is already on the way in the very next wave, who is Chimera the Stranger, which is awesome.
Yeah. I was glad I didn't have to put him on my list for a second year.
Yes. It's always nice when those slots open up.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
all right, but we have we've got a lot of made figures from the list, but we got a lot of remaining unmade figures. So 134 unique characters or appearances have been on the bracket over the past 5 years, and Hasbro has released or announced 63 in TVC. 71 characters remain from the first 5 years, which we compile in this post that we update every few months. I just updated these to remove the Stranger from the 1-timer list and Obi-Wan from the 2-timer list. We recently got to take off Padme and Shakti from there as well. As you say, if you want to pop that up. Some have appeared all 5 years. Some have appeared 4, 3, 2, or 1. But yeah, there's the guys that have been all 5 years, including my
Yeah,
boy
all
Sweet
5
Sweet Simaloo.
Yeah, I see some stuff on here that I was assured
Jordan.
that nobody wants on this
Yes.
slide, but interesting, interesting.
We ask for them every year, and
I
they
think
have released.
we-
They have released over the years. Sometimes we get to take off characters that have been on every bracket, like Luke and Ben, and the Tonikas run every year until they finally got to come off. So hopefully, it's the 10th year anniversary of Rogue One. Can Baze finally come off this year? Maybe. Hopefully, Ponkrell won already.
Hayes and Bodie
Saw Gerrera, yeah.
and Saw.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
all three of them.
Eight-
So I think
of those.
we've all got these guys on our list, though. Essentially, like these are
Yep.
all on our personal lists. So many
Mhm.
people obviously are backing these same characters. It's crazy that they just keep coming up over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yep.
8 of those exist in Black Series already, it looks like, on the 5-timer list. So,
Dang.
sorry.
So again, the positive spin on that is they have the digital sculpts they can shrink down. So it's a little bit easier. We got a leg up. Come on, guys, let's do it. And these are the guys that have been on 4 years, including the Bad Batch, because their show hadn't come out during the first tournament. And we finally got to cross off Crosshair within the past year.
Then our 3-timers.
Yes, and some of them have come and gone. I think Finn was not on last year, but he was on the first few years. Some of our Fallen Warriors.
Yep.
And then 2-timers. There you go. I updated Mara Jade for you. We can see her arm. The guns are out. Sun's out, guns out.
Hey.
Mara Jade is here to stay. Her hair is a little big, but.
Like that image.
one-timers.
That's not bad.
That was from, I think, Galaxy of Heroes as well.
Yeah.
It always has
yeah.
nice artwork. And then. So, yes. Alrighty. Which ones will reappear for a 6th year?
We'll find out probably.
My friends, that's up to you. Submit your list. Yes, we will find out. More importantly, which ones will finally get made this year and get removed from the graphics. So again, submit your list. I see some lists rolling in already, which is awesome.
I don't even have it open because I know it's going to drive me crazy if I'm
have it
staring
open.
at it.
I know. I'm always like January, I can kind of just put it on autopilot. After we do a lot to get it going, and then we can kind of just rest a little bit. But then I always ended up just refreshing it and looking at the number of submissions.
Comment, man, you guys are flipping through these slides fast. Don't you worry. All of this stuff will be readily available. We'll be covering this all on Instagram throughout the month. I'm sure we can get those
Yeah.
reposted too in the other
Yeah.
groups and whatnot. All this information is going to be readily available. We want to make sure everybody has everything they need and
Yep.
can see everything we do. We don't spend time on this for nothing. So
Yes, and
100%.
we always keep the repeat characters list. That's always our pinned post, one of our pinned posts. So it is up there currently. You can go check it out. We last updated in September, and I said I added the new logo and it removed a couple figures a couple days ago. So we'll put that up at some point this week, I'm sure.
cool.
One thing I
Refresh
just
your
want to
memory.
say real quick is January is a struggle with me on focusing on my actual job and work because I find myself going through the spreadsheet and being like, okay, how many people have listed like Maroc or whatever? And I'm like, oh, he's okay. So he's got this many mentions so far. Oh, is he going to make it on the bracket? Is he not? And I'm just like all month I'm doing that. And I remember I think it was last year or 24, I took a screen recording of the Excel spreadsheet and just like scrolled through it and just
It just goes.
thousands of characters, guys, like
Mhm.
and entries.
So
how
what
many,
you're
how many
saying,
entries is on one of these spreadsheets? Do you guys think like 10,000? Like in terms
Well,
of
I think
it was
individual
like-
boxes of data.
yeah, what's
like
1,260 by
It's something like
25?
30. I had like 30,000 entries.
30,000.
Yes, last year. Yeah,
30,000.
it's a lot.
Daniel Georgie Mark mentions Hasbro needs to look at that list of figures on all 5 years. We mentioned it earlier on the show. Brandon from the brand team, that was one of the things that he had shared in his year in review, I think, post was
Yep.
that exact post from the last year of them looking at that for priorities. So,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Tyler,
then-
though, what you're saying is for the sake of your job, we shouldn't give you the keys to the castle this month.
No!
You can't.
And for if
No,
any of our
I have to be able to look. I have to.
and if any of our employers are listening, that was a joke. We do our jobs very
Yeah.
well.
We don't look at this.
And
It's
this
on
doesn't
autopilot.
interfere at all.
We don't think about it at all ever.
So yes, and I'll say 2026. We got a few things upcoming. There's really nothing new media-wise until maybe the Mando movie in May. We're looking forward to Maul Shadow Lord and perhaps Ahsoka season 2 at some point this year. I know some people keep saying maybe it'll slip into next year. I don't know. I hope not. But so we have some fun stuff coming up. It'll be interesting to see how those impact things moving forward.
John, I'm gonna ask you some common questions here.
Yes.
Give me some answers.
Yes.
So when I'm making my top 25, what if Hasbro announces a figure from my list?
You win. Great. That's the whole point. That means they're making what you're asking for. That's awesome. You should be a happy boy. Pat yourself on the back and say, thank you, Daddy Hasbro.
Yes. Yes. But you can go back and edit it.
Yeah, so if Hasbro
During
announces
January.
a figure from your list during the submission period, you can edit your list until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, January 25th. You can also do this if you forgot something or fall in love with a new character after reading a book from 40 years ago or playing a video game that you missed or whatever. Like we said, you'll get an email with your submissions that you can click on to edit your submission. Maybe save it or something, because I told some people last year, keep it as unread for a few weeks. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, damn it, John. I forgot Garmbel Iblis. So now I got to edit my list. No, I'm just kidding.
Kenneth is already looking to the future. Is Ryan Gosling allowed on the list yet, or does his movie have to come out first?
Let's wait till he has a character name at least.
Yeah, then we can start asking, because we don't. It doesn't hurt to maybe remind them that we want stuff from new things before it comes
Yes,
out.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then if Hasbro announces a figure between the end of the submissions, where am I here, and the beginning of the tournament, we will remove that figure from the tournament and bump up the other characters one slot each. We've done that before. Happened several times now. It happened with Cobb Vanth a couple years ago. It happened with Cosca Reeves. Yep. Again, that means they're making what we want. That's kind of the point of this whole thing. In addition to having fun and celebrating our love, we're begging for what we want to see.
So if there's a character like Finn that is consistently like right at the end of the top 64, but sometimes misses it by like 1 or 2, maybe he might get bumped up from 65 to 64.
Every point counts on these guys.
And then if Hasbro announces a figure during the tournament, we'll have to wait and see. Hasn't happened yet. And if Hasbro announces a figure right after the tournament, you're welcome. You can send checks to. Just kidding. Just kidding. That means they were already planned.
You're welcome.
One disadvantage we've got this year is without the pipelines, we don't have a lot of vision into the future. And I think previous years we've probably had a better idea of what's coming, and so you're always a little bit ahead of those reveals. But now, the way they're playing it, and I'm not against not having pipelines, to be honest, but the way that they're playing it, we could get something tomorrow or next week that is just totally unexpected. And it could throw it out more this year, more than ever. So we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah. We do just note that there's that Cantina pack that Steve has been teasing, that's probably going to be revealed this month, is what they're hinting at. So,
yeah, I mean, look at the from the newest wave, the Geonosian dude.
Poggle, hello.
Poggle, yeah, yes.
Come on, man.
Poggle the Lesser. I mean, who saw that coming?
I know.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So pipelines are nice because they keep us informed, but the surprises are also nice. It's always.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see what works better. But
another common question, though, that we face too is, do I need to submit a full list of 25 figures?
Nope. If you can somehow only think of 25 or fewer figures, we're all struggling to get only 25 on our lists. You can include as many as 25 or as few as 1, but you can only list the same character in the same appearance once. In other words, they will only be awarded those points once. So some guy who put Shin Hati 25 times or Darth Vader 25 times, don't do that. But if you only want one, if you only want to push for one figure, if you say, I only want 2 or 3 characters, that's great. That's fine. And again, you can edit and add more later, but you only need to do one.
Another question too is, your Instagram guys, do I need Instagram or any other social media platform to use this?
No, absolutely not. All you need is an email address and a dream. Anyone can click the link, which again is linktr.ee/SWTVC. There's a dot in there. linktr.ee/SWTVC. Click that link, submit a list. Anyone can participate in the March Madness voting as well.
And I assume we're going to put that in the description here on YouTube as well, right?
Yes.
Yep. And I think I already did. It should be. I hope it's in there.
I'll put it in the chat one more time. Here we go. But yes, we'll have it in there as well.
Cool. And then another question, and this is the big one, and we get this one. We've even seen it in the comments today. Why doesn't Hasbro make everything I want?
Because they hate you. That was a joke, and I deleted it, and I said it anyway. As you can see, they're actually doing a really good job of working their way down the community's most wanted figures. Again, whether that's happenstance, whether that's initiative from them. These things take time. We only just got all the A New Hope main characters except C-3PO. Even though they were pipelined in summer 2024, there was a lot of demand for them in fan polls and articles and whatnot leading up to that time. In the 2020 March Madness, they were the top ranked figures. It took a long time to get them, but we got them. So again, whether that's because they're listening or because they're already aware of this demand as it's happening, as it's bubbling up, that is a good thing. That's a great thing. But again, they don't have an unlimited budget, unfortunately. It's not the size of the Black Series budget, unfortunately. But they are a business trying to make money by making products that their customers want to buy. So let's encourage them to make what we want them to make. Okay?
What I can
So
say is that I genuinely believe, number one, we're in really good hands with this brand team between Steve and Chris and Brandon. Well, Emily, her work is going to continue into 26. She's kind of moving on to other pastures, but we will still see the fruits of her labor this year. But we're in really good hands. Secondly, in terms of them being fans and really being passionate and caring, and also being knowledgeable about the franchise in general. And then number two is sort of unparalleled listening. They're really involved. They're really listening. They're partnering with various people in the community and various, stores like their Red 5 events to come and speak with the fans directly instead of through a screen. I mean, we're in really good hands, and I genuinely believe that. And I genuinely believe that they're doing their very best to deliver on what the community wants. They always going to be able to give us every single thing that we want? No, because like John said, limited resources and whatnot. There's no doubt in my mind that they're trying their.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also worth remembering that your personal 25 top wants may not be what the majority of other people want. I mean, by all means,
True.
put what you want. Put down the figures you want. It's important that you do put what you want, but don't be surprised if you have 25 obscure EU characters that nobody else puts on their list, because that's just unfortunately the way it is. And I've got figures on. I've got characters on my list that I know certainly don't hit the top 100. I want them on there because I want to try and give them a bit of a push. But, sometimes they just don't get enough traction because there's too many other things that people are calling for. So you've got to accept that, yeah, this is about the majority. I mean, the whole reason of this poll is trying to just push what is the most popular. So,
and what's going to sell well based on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's disappointing if you don't get your stuff, but that's just, it's life.
It is also, though, a huge point of conversation, though. It's good for us to have this time once a year or twice a year with Last Figure Standing as well, talking about these characters that maybe otherwise don't get the spotlight for consideration. It's fun to talk about, hey, I want this, backgrounder number 6. It could reuse these parts. What if we got it on this radar? Oh, this character plays an important role in this book, this show, and whatever. Things that maybe folks don't necessarily think about. And I'm just going to reiterate with things that we said all 5 years across this. And John, you said a little bit earlier, it's not about what you don't want. It's about what you want. It's not about poo-pooing other people's wants. I know for me, even the stuff that I prioritize, if I see something on a list, I'm like, oh, dang, I wouldn't put that on my list. At the end of the day, though, I'd still buy that figure because it's probably going to be rad. So just that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's not like we were talking earlier about the Rogue One characters. Like, I didn't put those on my list for two reasons. Number one, I didn't have space for them. And number two, I'm completely convinced that they're going to make the top 64 anyway. Yeah. So, they didn't need my points. But that's not to say that I don't want them or not going to buy them. Of course I am.
Yeah.
Of course I am.
So when people see our list and go, why isn't this character on there? Maybe he's number 26. Yeah, make your own list.
I only get 25 slots, all right?
Yeah.
I love it when you see the obscure characters. I mean, I think the thing is with this tournament is you don't need to win it. You don't even need to get into the top 16 to be noticed. And, you look historically, I mean, I know figures like Velkan Taziri, I know John Miko pushed hard for him and, a lot of other people were calling for him, but it gives a platform for people to get behind characters like that and actually say, look, this is something that the community want. It doesn't have to win. It doesn't matter how far it gets, but it's about making noise for that character. And so I think sometimes it's good that the people put obscure stuff on if it's what they want, because sometimes other people will get hold of that and say, yeah, actually, I like that idea. I'll get on board with that as well. And before you know it, it's got that snowball effect, hasn't it? So it's good. It's not all just about main characters.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely. And again, we just talked about how many entries these Excel spreadsheets get, like 30,000 entries or something like that. Think about all the characters in Star Wars between the movies, the shows, the comics, the video games, the books,
And
the just
outfits as well.
all of the, and all
Yep.
of their different
Mhm.
outfits.
Mm.
Thousands, maybe tens of thousands of characters and appearances. And only 64 make it into the bracket. All dependent on the points that you give them.
Yep. Almost 50 years of lore to pull from. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So
Well,
it really is a badge of honor to make it into the tournament.
we've talked a lot about that. Again, a galaxy of characters to choose from. Should we now go through our top 25 lists?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Who did we choose?
Awesome. I think first up on this deck is going to be Lewis. You're up to bat to go
Oh.
first.
No, you've thrown me under the bus.
I know. We're going to put you off guard.
Okay.
All right. So your
All right.
first one.
Well,
Or anything you want to say before?
I'll just caveat a little bit before I start, because I think sometimes it is worth highlighting why I've picked what I've picked in general and how I go about it. And I think, for me, we talked about 25 is hard. I think it's hard to just pick 25. I think I could easily go 50, 100. I want them all. I want everything. But for me, I think I look at this 25 and I have to try and set some sort of boundaries and say, well, look, okay, if I can set myself a boundary, I can narrow down the figures that I'm after or the figures I'm going to ask for. So I say this every year, but I always try and focus on the new before redo. It's one way for me to actually just narrow down everything I want. Last year we had some great redos of figures like Luke, Ben Kenobi was a fantastic figure. Even Hammerhead wasn't one I was specifically looking for, but it's a fantastic figure. So I don't say I don't want to see those type of figures, but they're just not what I aim at on my own list. So, don't shoot me down if I don't have some of those. But
We'll try and be
also,
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Also, talking about, we're talking about background characters a minute ago. I would love to have 25 background characters on my list, and I'd love for TVC to be in a position where that's the sort of thing we was asking for. But personally, I feel there's still too many main characters, still too many holes in teams that need filling. And so for me, again, I try and focus on filling those gaps, picking characters that are more than just a fleeting glance, so someone that has actually a role in a series or role in a film, or at least a secondary role. So again, that's where I kind of come from with my 25. So I say, if people look at it and go, well, why haven't you got those in there? Why haven't you got any, I haven't got any OT. I'll sit and say it now. I've got no OT characters on my list. I love OT. It's probably my favorite part of Star Wars, but as a collector, I feel it's well served compared to some other areas of Star Wars. So for me, it's not where I focus on this list. So yeah, that's my starting point.
Amen.
Thank you for taking a lot of these bullets, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Spoiler alert, so John's list is going to be the last one since
Wacky.
Best for last. Yeah, sure.
So to start off, the 25, 24, and 23, I'll just do them all together because I've got Echo, Tech, and Wrecker. I'll be honest, I thought very hard about, do I keep them on this year? We still haven't seen these bad batch characters. I've been asking for them now for years. I'm getting a little bit fed up of asking for them, to be honest, but I ended up leaving them on. I just feel that they still need some representation because we need to complete that team. So they're on the bottom of my list. They've got a small amount of points. I don't doubt they're still going to do well because I think people are still going to back them because we don't have them. But it's one of those where I feel Hasbro probably knows. I think they've listened, they've said they listen to this. So I'm sure they're aware we need these characters and we want them, but I've just left them on there as a little bit of a little nudge, just a little nudge. So number 22, I will say this, a lot of my list is very similar to last year because a lot of my characters never got made. They're more obscure at the bottom end. But the Corvus Scout Guard, I love the look of these characters right from when they were in the Jedi episode of The Mandalorian. Obviously, we've since seen them in Ahsoka with a slightly different paint job. So there is an opportunity there for Hasbro to repaint these guys. And I always try to get a couple of army builders on my list so that there's that, opportunity to not just go for characters, but get a few army builders out there. And, we're trying to do new stuff. We're trying to do stuff that's newly tooled. So I think the Corvus Scout Guard is a good one to be honest, for Hasbro to make and then give us a couple of variations of. Number 20 is, I can never pronounce his surname actually, but it's Greasy. Oh, hold on. Sorry. No, Pike Soldier 21. Apologies. I've missed one.
The surname is pronounced Soldier.
Yeah. Pike
Soldier.
Soldier.
Yeah. Pike Soldier. Pike Soldier. So again, another army builder. I've had these guys on my list for a while. Again, with them coming out into Outlaws, the game, I feel it gives another opportunity for Hasbro to stick them on an Outlaws card. I wouldn't mind that. They don't have to be on the Book of Boba. They've obviously been in Clone Wars as well. But it's one of those figures that can be repainted to give you the different face masks. So there's a 4-pack opportunity there. I think it's just one that we're missing out on, and it should have been done back when the Book of Boba stuff was coming out. Really,
been in a lot of media.
Yeah. And I'd say I've been playing the games, and I quite enjoy playing that and seeing them again. It's nice to have that link. So yeah, get them out. So I've given this one away, but 20 is Greasy Dritus. The Greasy Baby, I tend to call him. And again, he was on my list. I think he's a fun character. He's an alien we don't have. I talked about background characters not being on my list, but he is a significant character in the games. And I feel that now we got Merrin this year as well, that there's this opportunity now to build on the Mantis crew. I'd love to see a Mantis, to be honest. I think it would be a great ship to have on a shelf and have that team around it. But yeah, get Grease out there and keep adding to that team. Now now we've got Merrin as well. We don't want to stop there. Let's keep making some of those video game characters.
I'm going to give you a little grief on Grease here real quick, Lewis. You missed one of the rules on this, which is be specific.
This
is Fallen Order Grease.
I'm very specific. None of mine is specific.
No, it's all good. I chose Fallen Order, but now that you're talking about Merrin,
I was going to say, to be honest, I would go with Survivor at this point, just simply because we have their characters to go with him. But in a different world, Fallen Order would have been great.
Just giving you
crap. He was wearing different clothes.
I haven't been specific on half of mine, so shoot me.
I think I was able to suss it out though. So
19 and 18, I'll probably again do together. I mean, 19 is Neil, 18 Captain Brutus. Again, we have Jod. We have one single figure from the Skeleton Crew. We need to build on that. I haven't put the whole team on. I haven't put all the kids on because I didn't want to fill all my slots with all of those. But I feel that Neil represents that crew, and I think that we need a bad guy, one of the bad guys from the show. Brutus, I think, would be a great character to have. I know I talked about New Before Redo, and some people might say, "Oh, we have a version of him," but it doesn't count. It's not a 3.75 figure, so I feel that I think he'd make a good TVC addition, to be perfectly honest. And come on, Jod's just standing on the shelf on his own at the moment. We've got to do something.
Poor guy.
So 17 is actually Peli Motto. And Now Peli, I've always supported her. I've never had her on my list up till now. And the main reason I've never had her is because when the M1 was announced, I just kind of thought she was a shoo-in. I thought, do you know what? They've got to put her out now. They've got the M1, they've got the Razor Crest. There's so much to build around. But yet here we are. So I felt this year she needed to go on. I think she's an important character, very much like Carson Teva, as we said similar things with him. He ties that Mandoverse together, and I think she does the same. I think because we've seen her in other, the other shows and those snippets, I think she's one of those characters that just enables that Mandoverse to be tied together in our figure scenes. So again, I think she's just so important, and I know she's been up there past years. She's been up in the I don't know, top 20s, I think. So she's well backed, and I just thought I'd give her my back in this year.
Yeah, she did well in the recent last figure standing. I think she was in that top 12.
Yeah, same thing. So, so hopefully we can push her nearer the top. So
she was 11 last year.
Yeah,
in March Madness.
So number 16 is another one that keeps showing up, which is Frog Lady. I mean, again, she's been on my list for a good few years. I've always said fun character. Again, not quite a background character. She plays her role, but I think for me, what's always bugged me the most is we've got those Mordo Kreese figures. We've got the Mordo Kreese Mando, the Mordo Kreese Grogu with the spiders as well, and yet to complete that scene, we still don't have Frog Lady, and I just feel that it was there. It was there to be done, and again, here we are, years on. She interacts with the Razor Crest, so she's perfect again to build on that HasLab. Give us Frog Lady.
Yeah.
So 15. Again, Ahsoka actually, I think, is one that we have done pretty well out of as a show. I think Hasbro, right out the gates, actually give us a pretty good selection of characters. And I think, compared to things like Skeleton Crew, we've done all right. But again, there's still those holes. And to me, Ezra is the biggest missing one at the moment, if you like, out of that show. I know Tyler probably will add to that list, but for me, he's the one that we really need. He's a main character. It says Ezra Bridger, and I will talk more. I'll throw in, might as well throw in 14 now, because I can talk about 14 as well. But 14 for me is Ezra Bridger from season 1. And again, you look at these two figures. I mean, Ezra is a character we've seen grown up from a child, much like Anakin, much like Ahsoka. Ezra, we watched him from a child come through now to this Jedi, and yet we don't have that version of him in TVC. And yes, again, I'm slightly breaking rules because we have the animated version, but you cannot put that animated figure alongside the quality TVC figures we have that come with a ghost. You can't count the animated figure. So again, I'm slightly breaking my own rule there, but I just feel that it doesn't count. So give us Ezra in both of those forms, because we desperately need him.
Yep.
So 13, again, staying with the Ahsoka show, is a Marok. If I've pronounced that correctly. I just think he's quite a cool looking character. I just think as an action figure, he looks great. And yes, a lot of people laugh because he just turned into this puff of green smoke. But I just think
far cloud, you can say it. It's all right.
Exactly. Yeah. I was trying to be discreet, But I just think on the shelf,
very British
on the shelf of your action figures, yeah. But put him with the other villains, put him with the other Inquisitors. Not that we've got them all. But I just think he'd make a great action figure. So, more, get him out there. So again, 12 and 11, I'm going to do together as well, because we've got the Stranger now. Fantastic figure. I think all of the figures actually that we've had from the Acolyte have been amazing figures. I think Soul was great. I think Indira was great. I just think that unfortunately, again, we're stuck in this situation where we have this half a team, half finished crew. So for me, Kelnaka, I think, would be an amazing figure. I just think, who doesn't love a Wookiee Jedi? And I think Jackie, we've got to have Jackie, because she finishes well, she doesn't finish the scene because there's those other background Jedis, but she's another main character from the scene where the Stranger obviously goes up against them. So for me, those two are important. I'd love to see Torben as well, to be honest, to just complete those 4 Jedi, but these are the 2 important ones for me in terms of a March Madness list anyway. So
good shout. I like that.
So we're going into top 10 now. Most of these are long-standing figures on mine, actually, and that's Palpatine Sith Eternal is obviously at number 10. I say this every year, so I'm going to say it again, but he is the main villain from the Star Wars, saga, the Skywalker saga. He is the main villain. It is the last look of him and the last, iteration of him that we've ever seen, and we don't have a figure of him. It seems crazy. Whether you love or hate the sequels, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't make that much difference when you've got it's the Emperor. I mean, come on, it's Palpatine, and it's just a figure we should have in the line. Again, it just feeds into that it feels like we don't get enough villains in TVC, and I know Hasbro have put that right recently with some. We've had some good villains come in, but it still feels like list. Well, I was going to say it still feels like we've got a lot missing. So he's important, but so number 9. obviously, again, if you've seen my lists the last 5 years, you'll know that I do champion Solo. I love Solo as a film. It's not my favorite film, but I love it. I love the energy of it. I think it's fun, and it annoys me that we don't have all of the characters from Solo in TVC. And Kira, particularly the Kessel outfit, I think is one that would make a great action figure, and I think she deserves to be in TVC. I know Victoria's been championing her for a few years as well. So again, I think people should get behind this. I think it's another figure that people can push for and actually say, look, where is she? Why have we not got her now? Because it's been too long. So yeah, get Kira into the line, definitely.
This is another figure, though, that's important for people to specify which appearance they want.
Yeah,
because there's the appearance in black at the end of the movie,
yeah.
Where she's fighting Raiden,
We do have the 5 POA version of that, the black one, don't we? And we do have the 5 POA version of her early outfit at the beginning of the show, but this is one that's never been done. But also I think this is the one where you see her in the, well, I say most action scenes, because when she's fighting Dryden, that is, an action scene, but I just feel like this one is a good look.
Yeah. And she's one where we do sometimes condense some of the different ones, because she puts on a jacket, she puts on a cape, she changes her skirt for pants or whatever. So there's a lot of, it's like it can be reused for multiple versions. But yes,
yeah, because actually that's the 5 POA version, isn't it? Without the cloak. It's the one without the cloak, isn't it?
But like instead Kessel versus Corellia, we probably wouldn't combine those, but I don't know. Still be specific, and then we'll see what we do.
But I was specific on that one.
Yes. So thank you.
Yes, you're the best.
Number 8 is again another one I always ask for, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I mean, same as what I've just said about Palpatine, really. Main villain from a trilogy. He's a cool looking figure, and I don't like the Kylo Ren that we've got. It's not a great figure. TVC has moved on so much since we had that figure in the line, and articulation has gone so much further. I think if you rather than update him flat out, give us the Supreme Leader version. I think it'd just be a great figure. So 7, going back to the games, is the Second Sister. Again, she's another 5-timer. Last 5 years she's been on March Madness. She's been on my list for 5 years as well, I think. I mean, it's annoying we don't have the Fallen Order Cal Kestis to go with her. But let's at least get the Second Sister out there. I mean, I don't know. It does feel like we've been asking for too long now. But she's on my list again. She's staying there. She's staying on the list until we get her. She'll be there. But
I'll say
numbers. Yeah.
If I can say, now that we have the new Airborne Trooper sculpt, they can redo a Purge Trooper on that new sculpt, and then if maybe put a 2-pack or a 3-pack with some of those guys, just cost it out a little bit. Yeah.
There's 4 different classes of Purge Troopers, so they can really reuse that tooling.
Yep.
God, that'd be rad.
Yeah.
Oh, would love that.
Okay. Where do we get to? 6. So
6,
number 6 is Kino Loy.
Yes.
I loved Andor. I'll be honest, it's one of my favorite. Well, it probably is my favorite show. I loved the character, and particularly the One Way Out episode, or that arc is probably my favorite.
So good.
And I think Kino's speech is brilliant. It does get overshadowed slightly by Luthen's speech because that's even better. But I do love the Kino Loy speech, and I just think he's a character that would just be great. Okay, you look at him and you think, okay, he's wearing a pair of pajamas, perhaps not the best action figure, but there is that point where they're running around with guns, so you can still give them some weapons. And I think also there's that opportunity to repack that as a 4-pack, stick the other heads on, get Melshi on there, I can't remember all the other prisoners' names now off the top of my head, but, get Andor in there, and you could give us a pack of them. Give us a little set, give us a little prison corridor set, I think it would be great. I'd love it. I'd get carried away with it. I'd fill it up. I'd swap heads. I'd have hundreds of them, But yeah, definitely. So Kino Loy, get him in there. Sorry, my iPad's gone off. So number 5. Now I didn't specify with this, but Luthen Rail. I think if you pushed me, I'd probably say the green coat version, which is the one that's there in the image. But honestly, at this point, I would take any version of Luthen, just because we don't have a version of Luthen. But yeah, I mean, again, he's done well now. Last Figure Standing, he did well. March Madness, he's always done quite well, and since he's been around. And again, it's one of those that I'll keep asking for until we get him. I can't believe we don't have him yet, to be honest.
He's one of the founders of the rebellion.
Yeah, yeah. And when you look, again, we don't have a huge amount of figures from Andor. I know people say, oh, they're not toyetic enough, but I've always argued, well, Empire Strikes Back, you could argue, isn't particularly toyetic. But as a child, I had tons of Empire Strikes Back toys. There's plenty of army building you can do from Andor. You know, there's plenty of Imperial officers, troops. You know, give us some rebels. Give us. There's a lot that can be done from that show. So I don't buy it when people say it's not toyetic enough. I think there's plenty that could come out.
The garbage take.
Yeah.
Luthen Speeder. And on the point real quick of Luthen, and I see another comment about it. If I list any next to the character, can it be added? We end up usually if it's not specified, we default to like the basic version or the first version or the version that has the most points, and then we combine those versions into whatever makes it under the bracket. So Luthen, if people don't say whatever version, they'll probably combine most of them, because a lot people don't even realize his outfit is different in a lot of cases. But I did. Spoiler alert: I did the same thing, but.
Okay. So that's all right. No. Number 4 then. So Evan's favorite. I mean, we laugh at Evan, but actually Ben Solo's been on my list from day one as well. So, you know, I just hide him a bit more. So, you know, Evan takes all the flack on it. But no, again,
thanks for that.
Yeah, it's just insane that we have this Star Wars trilogy. We have a main character and we do not have a figure of him in TVC. It's just insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's a lightsaber wielder, so he'd be great. It would just, get him in the line. Get him in the line.
Yep.
So number three, he's gone up a little bit on my list, but that's Sergeant Melshi from Rogue One. Again, since Andor, he's become a character that we know much more about now, and I feel that he's one of those that was probably missing from the Rogue One lineup anyway. So for me, it's a double whammy. Get his first version out there, add him to the Rogue One line. It potentially could give us some Rebel Pathfinder outfits as well. Could get some more out of that. But again, just it's Melshi. We've seen his entire arc now. We know where he ends up. Sadly, his death is quite underplayed, but we've seen where he's come from and where he's headed, and I just feel like he's got to have a figure.
I'll say, after watching Andor and then watching Rogue One, it did hit me a lot harder, like knowing him a lot better, and like seeing him and K2 and Cassian being friends and playing poker that one night. I'm like, damn, now I care a lot more about this guy. So
yeah. And I'd love to see a 2-pack of the Hawaiian shirts,
Yep.
Yes. and Melshi, that would be great. But
Beach Boys.
Give us the Rogue One version first, at least, anyway. So nearly there. Number 2 is the Client. I mean, again, he's just that missing piece from the Navarro. Well, Grief Cargo as well, but he's the missing piece from the Cantina, Navarro Cantina set. That whole set that we got is geared up around that scene with Gideon outside. You've got the blown out window and everything, and yet we don't have that character that's in it as part of that scene. So again, one that I'll keep asking for, but I think he's a cool villain. I think he'll look good with a kind of in a scene with a load of remnant troopers behind him, and I just think he would look good on a shelf anyway. But it's one of those characters that give us another villain, get him out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really want.
And then last but not least, I mean, anyone that's been following my lists for the last few years will know that Dryden Voss is my number 1. Going back to Solo, he's a missing villain. He's a missing character, full stop. He's from a film that isn't supported enough in TVC. And also, I've said this many times, for me, he represents the point when Black Series started getting new media figures that we didn't get. Because I always still remember the day I saw him revealed in the Black Series. And I remember thinking, oh, that's good. We're going to get a Dryden Voss next. And then we never got a Dryden Voss. And it still, to this day, really hits hard. So, we need him in the line to complete that. Well, not to complete, because we need Kira as well. But to build out more from Solo. And again, I just think he'd be a good character.
I mean,
So-
you have to imagine too, since he was in that little Shadow Council of
Yes.
Warlords was that
Shadow Collective Clone Wars Season 7.
yeah. And then I mean, we don't know anything about Maul Shadow Lord yet, but that would be a safe bet that he seems like a kind of character that could pop up in that setting. So,
Depending on when it's set, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
Definitely.
the Pikes too.
And,
Yeah.
and Paul
And-
Bettany's
and
on
Kira.
Disney. He's on Disney Speed
Kira.
Dial because he's doing the Vision show, and
oh yeah.
he's floating around. Could we get him in the booth to do some lines on the Mall show and make the figure finally? That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yes, I
Yep.
agree. Great list. Beautiful list.
Great list, Lewis.
And the
There's a lot of
hashtag-
these.
Do it for
Do it for
driving.
driving.
Yes.
There's a lot of these I wish I had space for on my list, and I mean, I'm kicking myself that I didn't put. I'm spoiling mine a little bit, but I'm kicking myself that I didn't put Klein. But I am confident he'll
same
probably
here.
make the bracket anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking, as always, I'm looking at a few of these and be like, dang, I wish I should have added that. Now I have 3 weeks to change it. Will I? Probably not, but a
Yeah.
lot of great picks, great picks.
And I think too, I look at stuff like Frog Lady, where I don't think she would ever be on my list of priorities of the things that I would go out of my way to ask for. However, I love that she is being asked for. I think it's a lot of fun. And if Hasbro would be like, hey, here's a Frog Lady figure, I'd be like, sign me up, dude. I want that. That looks amazing. That looks fun. I want that in my collection. I want all of these in my collection. So
And
yeah.
it's a sort of figure. I mean, depending on how particular you are about how you set out a cantina, you might want to be, no, this person's got to be exactly where they are in the film. But if you're someone that's quite happy to fill a cantina with aliens, then Frog Lady's another one that would sit quite nicely in the cantina somewhere.
And
Yeah.
she is in the cantina in.
In
Yeah,
Mando,
obviously not at the same time. Yeah, but yeah.
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 I think my internet just messed up.
That's okay. You're back.
Okay, good.
Sweet. Dude, Lewis, I love that list. Well done,
Thank-
man. Well
thank
done.
Good stuff.
Well,
That's right.
anything you want to cap that off with, or are we ready to move on to the next list?
No, I think I'll be honest, I've said my piece. Yeah, you can happily move on.
Cool. Well, that then brings us to, it looks like Tyler. It's your turn to shine.
Hey, all right. Once again, great list, Lewis. Good choices.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So to echo what I said earlier about showing consistent demand, even when characters have won, at number 25, I had Krell. Again, he won almost 2 years ago now, and still has yet to materialize. So the assumption that they're just going to automatically make, what wins in these fan polls is not true, at least not yet. So, I mean, sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. They've made 3 out of 5 winners so far.
Can I just add, I actually took him off my list this year. And the reason I took him off is because I felt that, come on, we've banged on enough about him. He's won the tournament. And I just kind of felt, I don't want to see him win again. I feel like it would be a bit waste. So I personally
want to see him
just
win
thought,
again,
you know what, I'm going to
but
take him off. But yeah.
Yeah, I do think it would be good for him to make the bracket again.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to see him,
No.
but
No.
but placing in the bracket again shows that consistent demand.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Then, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to highlight this middle-aged Kiwi man is in the chat. I saw him pop in a little while ago, and Tyler's top 25 is really a top 2,500 when you take into account how many he bought.
There's not enough troopers on my list that I would buy that many times, but there's a couple. His comment earlier about Amiga is the only character in all of Star Wars that speaks correctly or like a normal person. It was hilarious.
Oh man,
It's so funny. All right. You can reveal the next 2, I guess, at the same time if you want, Evan. Number 24 and 23, I've got Darth Nihilus and Darth Malik from Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, respectively. These are just some of my favorite Sith Lords. We got Revan. Revan was tremendously popular, and he was underproduced, and people have been banging on about Hasbro to make, a second run of him for 2 years now, over 2 years. I think they finally did, right? They ended up putting out
of
more of
Revan.
him eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, they I think GameStop, they did another run, so he's been out there. So
Wish I could put these guys up higher on my list, honestly, but
it's tough, isn't it?
them's the breaks. I would encourage Hasbro, keep going with that KOTOR love. There's a strong fan base there, and just they look cool.
Yeah.
Malik with his like missing jaw, and it's like I don't even know how to say it. It just looks awesome. So
Yeah.
they're just really beloved characters.
The
and
Black
then-
Series version of Malik is really nice. I would love to see that translated.
Yeah, and I mean, in our Darth Revan came out really well too.
Yeah, very much so.
You can reveal the next two at the same time as well.
Okay.
At number 22 and 21, we've got the HasLab Jedi that didn't make it, sadly. Stacy Teen and Agan Kolar. I think
Good
I
enough.
pronounced that right. Close enough. All right. Again, I wish that I could have placed these higher up on my list to give them more points, but at least they're on there. I think it's really important if people want to still get those figures, even though they didn't get backed in the HasLab. It's really important to put them on your list and try to put them as high as possible on your list to give them the points so that they make it to the bracket. Otherwise, frankly, we're telling Hasbro, I didn't really care about these figures and I don't really care if they get made. I mean, that's the message you're sending. It just is. It just is, So I really encourage people to, I'm not going to tell you what to vote for, but I would encourage you to consider putting those two on your list.
And I do just want to jump in and yes, John, before you out me to everybody, I did fake fan this one. And that is a photo of Agan Kolar from Revenge of the Sith, where he had a blue lightsaber, but in the arena in the HasLab figure, he had a green lightsaber. I know. I'm so sorry. I've made and let's pack it up. Let's be done.
Hasbro never gets it right, so I'll forgive you for also not getting it right.
So, all right. Sorry about that, Tyler. Just want to throw that in there.
You can reveal the next three as a group together as well. 20, 19, and 18, we've got three main characters from The Phantom Menace that desperately need to be redone because their TVC figures are all really Qui-Gon. My God, what a horrible figure that. Just because they exist in the vintage collection, at one point, especially if they're from TVC 1.0, does not mean that we don't need them to be updated. Some of these characters from 1.0 truly awful, and Qui-Gon is one of them. But I also want Obi-Wan updated as well, and I also want Darth Maul updated as well, and I specifically asked Evan to include a picture of him with his robe on because I want the robe included. A lot of figures lately who have cloaks and robes and they're not included for whatever reason, like, Balin and Shin. It grinds my gears when that gets omitted. Just a little bit. So it's important to include them with their necessary accessories, and that is one of those things. But I love Darth Maul. Darth Maul is one of my favorites. I actually had Solo Maul on my list initially, but I had to drop him in favor of some other stuff. So those are important. And then sorry, my phone is shaking. At number 17, I've got Kiadi Mundi. Or Mundi. I don't know how you guys say it, but I've always said Mundi. But
I'm wondering at this point, Tyler, who's going to have more lightsabers on their list?
Yeah, I
you or
know.
Evan?
It's probably going to be Evan, but I'm giving him a run for my money this year.
It's 100% success rate so far.
Yeah.
Kiadi Mundi, we just need him, man. His existing figure really sucks. I'm trying to see if I have him on my. No, he's over there.
We've
somewhere.
tried.
There he is.
John Miko, sorry. John Miko chimed in after 6 years. You all still haven't taught Tyler Photoshop. Bunch of jerks.
If you teach a man to fish.
Look at this, Hasbro. We've got these awful swivel elbows. Horrific. Gives me nightmares at night. I stay awake at night thinking about this, and it's actually not because I love it. We can do better. We must do better. He also doesn't have ankles. He's got the Aura Singh thing going on. Disgusting.
Ooh.
Gross. Okay. At number 18, I think that. No, wait a minute.
16.
16. I'm sorry. My eyes. Number 16, we've got the Republic Commando. And again, everyone, I just put a generic Republic Commando because the important thing is getting the tooling. And then from there, we can get Delta Squad and Omega Squad and, Gregor and all these different characters, right? Um, the important thing is that we just need the tooling. So instead of putting 8 different commandos on your list that are all just repaints of each other, just put one, public commando or clone commando, doesn't matter. Either way, it's all going to get condensed into the points for this one character. So I think we need a clone commando, and not based on Hunter. It's very important to say that. Not based on Hunter, an all new tool. Okay. And then you can reveal the next 2 together, Evan. 15 and 14. We've got the Galactic Marine and the 41st Elite Corps Swamp Trooper. These are two big ones from Revenge of the Sith that are very prominent. Obviously the Galactic Marines, along with Bakara, they schwack Mundi. And the scouts on Kashyyyk are super cool on the beach. There's like hundreds of them up in the trees. I mean, they're freaking awesome, but we haven't gotten new versions of these characters in a very long time, coming up on 20 years for both. They can also use each other's legs. The Galactic Marine and the 41st Elite Corps Swamp Trooper have the same legs. They're just painted differently. So if you make one, you've got half of the other. So make them happen, Hasbro. Let's get those out there. I think fans would go wild for those.
And
there would be much cheering.
They were last made around at the same time as the Airborne Trooper, who was finally getting an update. So
yes, it's time to
do it.
Time to upgrade those as well. All right. The next 2 can be revealed together as well. 13 and 12. We've got the 7th sister and the 5th brother. Inquisitors. I really want the whole Inquisitorius in my collection. I want them all. I love the Inquisitors. I think they're super cool. Other people will completely disagree with me and be like, but the helicopter lightsabers, they suck. I don't care. I want them in my collection. I want them all. And 5th brother made the translation from animated to live action. Some people don't quite like how that translation happened, but regardless, it's a figure that Black Series got, and it's a figure that I want. And of course, same with 7th sister, who was a real menace in the show. And then at number 11, we've got another repeat contestant here, possibly going into his 6th March Madness. We'll find out. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I have a whole army here, Hasbro. Can you guys see that? Right there.
Beautiful.
Look at all those Sith troopers up there. And they have no leader. They're just standing there aimlessly waiting for orders. So like a bunch of bumbling buffoons. Okay. No, but we need that. And I think it would sell just fine. I know Hasbro has some apprehension about the sequel trilogy, and I get that. But there's certain characters that are going to supersede that. And I think Kylo Ren is one of those characters that's going to sell just fine. You don't need to be nervous about that character. All right, we can reveal the next 3 as a group together as well.
Ooh, the Evolutions pack.
Oh my God, red
Yes.
robes. All the red robes,
Palpatines.
Palpatine in one convenient package.
Palpatines galore. That would be the most amazing journey of pack. Could you imagine?
That would be rad, actually.
I would love it.
And I wouldn't have to separate any of them on March Madness anymore. That would be
Yeah.
for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, I bet
I'm
they could
honestly-
use a lot of tooling underneath all the robes.
Yeah, probably. Or at least they could get away with it, I think. Yeah, so number 10, we've got his Imperial Declaration outfit when he says, the Republic is going to be reformed into the Galactic Empire. Kind of an underrated outfit in my opinion, because that's when he declares himself the Emperor, man. I mean, that's like a that's a big moment in the saga where everything shifts. And then, of course, number 9, we've got the Jedi arrest Palpatine. We've asked for this many times, and he's gradually rising up the demand. Black Series got him recently. Very envious of that.
But don't worry, theirs is wrong. So don't be super
Bad.
envious.
Wrong and bad.
Wrong
Yeah.
and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe make ours a little better. But and then at number 8, we've got the Rise of Skywalker, Sith Eternal, Emperor Palpatine. I love this look. I just think it's so like just evil. I just love it. I love it. With the crimson, blood red robes underneath. It's just so cool. And like when he shoots his lightning up and he disables the entire fleet, and your ears are like, oh my God, base. It's such a cool moment. I don't know, man. I would really love this figure, and I need somebody to sit on that throne over there.
Yeah.
He's another he's a 5-time contestant as well, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
He's been on every single tournament, Hasbro. Please knock out those 5-time veterans. We've shown you that we want them. It's time to deliver. All right.
Yes.
Number 7, another. Oh, what's that?
Just a couple of the Jason's fun comments. Bring back Comtech chips for Palpatine, but use Ian McDiarmid this time, not some rando actor or Hasbro employee. And he also said, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren could come with Bulio's head. I love a build a Bulio idea. Jason, Kiwi Man, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Also, Aqualish Doug, all the lightsabers. Did Evan hijacks Tyler's list? I mean, I did have to make it, so
We were getting all the lightsabers until then I forgot about the troopers too.
yeah.
Back to the dark side lightsabers.
All right. For number 7, I've got the second sister, of course, another 5-time repeat contender. We've asked for this for years, and then they go and make other stuff from the Jedi series, and it's like, like, what are you doing? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm grateful they made Marin, and Marin's a wonderful figure. She's fantastic, great figure. But I'm also kind of like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, and
Yes, and
I don't know. It just kind of kills me a little bit. But
yeah.
Anyway, all right. On to number 6 is the Zombie Death Trooper from Ahsoka. I loved these guys. I think they were super cool in their fight with Ezra and Sabine. I super love how they look with all of their like wrappings and the zombie jawline underneath, one of the shattered helmets. This figure has not materialized for our collections. I will say, Hasbro's done a really good job at covering Ahsoka. A very commendable job, but there is still some key characters and figures that we need. Lewis, you mentioned Peridia Ezra. That is absolutely one that we need, but I would also argue that the Death Troopers are in the final climactic battle. We need those. We need those. And then that brings me to number 5, Marok, also a key character in Ahsoka. And I will also add, he was also in the Tales of the Empire, briefly in the scene where, what's her name? Barriss. Yes, thank you. When she's like made an Inquisitor, and there's other, the Grand Inquisitor introduces them all to Vader. He's there amongst them. So that was another appearance for him. And then we've seen him in the trailer with the Maul Shadow Lord, right? That's what it's called. Yeah. He's going to be fighting against Darth Maul, for God's sake. So yeah, kind of a cool character, kind of a character that we want. Again, Black Series got him. We want him. Yeah. That's one of those balance the scales things, right?
Well, we technically got him in retro collection.
But
I know. Doesn't
count.
Also, Tyler, you did ask me to put this image in specifically because it includes the cloak, similar to your reasoning for Darth Maul.
His iron is hot and ready. His iron needs more cloaks. It's iron.
Ready? Like a Little Caesar's pizza. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yes, I do like to stress. I ask Evan specifically on these images if they have a cloak or whatever to include the cloak. I want Maroc with his cloak. That is a necessary accessory. Please, if you're going to make Maroc, do it right and don't omit the soft goods cloak. All right, number 4. This one, I really don't know why more people aren't calling for this, to be completely honest with you. It's the Great Mothers from Ahsoka. These 3 witches are going to be allied with Thrawn in Ahsoka season 2 and the foreseeable media going forward. Like all those little caskets that they brought back to Dathomir, I think these witches are going to continue to play a very big role in upcoming new media. So I would encourage you to put the Great Mothers on your list if you want them, because my collection feels incomplete without them. Just saying. Just consider it. I'm not forcing you. Don't tell me what to put on my list. I'm not forcing you to put anything on your list. I'm just saying consider them for your list. All right. At number 3, I've got the Imperial Praetorian Guard. Oh, this one chaps my behind, because we have like everything from Mando season 3. I'll say it again. I said it on like the last stream. I'm going to say it again. We've got Mando, we've got Bo-Katan, we've got Paz, we've got, all of the Mandos that are there with him. We've got the Imperial Commandos. We've got Moff Gideon in his Dark Trooper armor. We've got IG-12. We've got little baby Yoda piloting him. We've got all this stuff.
Apart from Moff Gideon's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need Moff Gideon's head still. But you get my meaning here. World building, scene completion, completing teams and themes. Like we talk about this all the time. Don't leave this unfinished, Hasbro. We need this character. It is part of the finale of The Mandalorian season 3. They killed Paz Vizsla, who had an incredible character arc. You know how many people want to take pictures with those guys? I've seen it. Black Series got him. Again, balance the scales, right? These were rumored at one point. They were floating around on this magical list that we all love watching. And then they never materialized. So I'm trying to put it back out there on the radar. Again, I would encourage you, if you want these characters still and to not sort of just drift into irrelevance and in the rearview mirror, you've got to put them on your list. You've got to tell Hasbro, yes, we still want this. Put it back on their radar. Okay. Number 2, last year's champion, Mara Jade. Again, I think it's important to continue to show consistent demand. Even though we told them we want this character last year, I think it's important to continue to show demand. And it is the same with my number 1. Rook did not make the March Madness bracket last year, but he was pretty close. I think he was in the 60s or 70s, I want to say. 70s, maybe?
I think so.
He was pretty close. If a few more people put him on their lists, he could have made the bracket. So, I encourage you to put Rook on your list if you want them, and not that gangly abomination from Rebels. That disgusting thing that makes my eyes bleed. No, the Heir to the Empire EU version. Background Nogris were cool and not weird and gangly.
I did a sneaky thing though, Tyler. The background on this image for Rook is it's Lothal, so I kind of snuck a little bit of canon in there.
I see it. Very good. Well, that's my list. Hopefully it doesn't suck. And yeah,
It's a good list. So
thanks, guys.
Takeaway is red lightsabers and red robes.
Yep.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm
Again, the villain's problem persists.
I'm looking at those 3
Good list.
Palpatines, and that really would be just an incredible 3-pack opportunity for them. I think a lot of reuse they could get away with in that. I'd be all for that. Wild.
A lot of black and red in Tyler's list.
Only 7 of these are not lightsaber wielders.
Yeah,
Am I
that's
correct?
solid, man. I think you might have me beat this year. We'll find out, because I didn't write
See.
down my list, so I'm going to be discovering it for the first time with you guys as we go through it here shortly. So
Can you highlight Cliff's comment real quick?
let's see. Where
Problem with the mothers.
yeah.
Well,
Problem
so
with
that's why we're
mothers.
grouping them together. Go ahead. You could.
Yeah,
But-
Cliff mentions the problem with the mothers is I can see Hasbro just making one of them.
Yeah, so that's why we actually grouped them together, is because we believe that they would reuse some tooling. So if Hasbro can make one of them, then surely they can make all three of them.
They do have unique
They-
robes, but a lot of
they
the stuff
do, but-
underneath, and they could probably
Right, exactly. So they would have unique like soft goods and heads, but they could reuse probably at least some of those, bodies.
Didn't I read recently as well that the actress who plays the main mother is not going back for season 2 because they
I think
couldn't.
did
she
see
was,
that.
I
They
think
moved-
she was recast, right?
They moved production
Yeah.
from LA to London, and she couldn't make it work with her lifestyle in LA. And then
So you may end up with a different head anyway then on the
yeah,
season 2 one.
It doesn't matter to me. I just want the witches, man. Just give me my witches. That's all.
Kiwi Man writes, lightsabers red, cloaks red, credit card in the red. Yep. That's a good list,
Thank
Tyler.
you for your support, guys. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
good
I
list.
approve of the lightsaber love, man. I approve.
of the Force is strong with you.
Wrong with you.
Oh, man. All right. Well, should we move on to the next list?
Let's do it.
All right. It's me.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be mine.
Hey.
I'm going to slow down, take a breath for a moment. I get nervous sharing my list because,
It's gonna be great.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Some of this is retreading some ground we've gone over. And I think weirdly, I have a hunch that my list is weirdly close to some of my early days March Madness lists, since a couple things of changing priorities have kind of shifted. So at 25, we're going to go with Egan Kolar, and I'm going to do 24, Stacey Teen. We saw them. It's kind of, similar to the Arlyle argument for the HasLab. We saw the figure. I'm really bummed we didn't unlock these two with the LAT. The tooling for those looked really great. They would go very far in being repurposed for many other Jedi from the prequel era, so that we could really build out not only our Battle of Geonosis, but the prequels in general, or even things from the High Republic era, or even some stuff from Legends in the New Jedi Order era. I talk a lot about that stuff with the Looney Tunic segments that we do, so I'll spare you all that spiel for now, other than just, I want these two figures. I'm bummed that they had to take up 2 slots on my list, but I did just want to show support for them, like Tyler had mentioned early on his list. Next up is the Praetorian Guard. The only reason he's so low is because he doesn't have a lightsaber. But I really do love this, and I agree, Tyler. We really needed to complete that Mandalorian season 3, like that Battle of Mandalore, the retaking of Mandalore. Also, I include it because I really love how it kind of links the visual language of this OT, this Remnant era, to the sequel trilogy era. And as we start to move forward in building that, bridging that gap, building those stories, and kind of making it a little more clear how all these things connect, so that maybe someday some folks can be like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. But yeah.
Yes. And if I can I comment real
Agreed.
quick? We talked about the tooling before. There have been brand
Yes,
new
please
discoveries.
do.
The torso is the armor from the First Order Stormtrooper. The forearm armor is the forearm armor from the Imperial Stormtrooper, and the lower leg armor is the lower leg armor from the First Order Stormtrooper. So it's a combination of both Imperial and First Order Stormtroopers. Everybody is like, isn't it just the same as the
It is not.
Elite Imperial Guard from Last Jedi? It is absolutely not.
It's not even close to the same
No.
with their solo cup arms. This reminds me, though, I did forget to say something. I don't mind me interrupting you, Evan, and hijacking the
please.
list super quick. I know people are going to give me flack about that because it's like, well, isn't that a partial tool now? Because we have a First Order Stormtrooper. No, we have a very old and crappy one that I hate and everyone hates. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree, Tyler, that I wouldn't want them to reuse parts from
No.
that figure that's showing its age a little bit, to put it kindly.
And the Stormtrooper forearm, they've got the Stormtrooper forearm armor, but they've got like cloth sleeves underneath their armor instead of like the ribbed suit that the Stormtroopers use. So actually you cannot use, say, like VC 231's forearm, because it's not the same. It's different tooling. So that is how I justify it as an all new figure, because If they make a brand new Praetorian, then we can use the tooling for that to make a brand new First Order Stormtrooper, which I would actually army build if the Stormtrooper didn't suck like the existing one does.
Yeah.
So if you make a new Stormtrooper Hasbro, I'll probably buy a bunch of them.
And they could do fun Finn and the Executioner again and all different variants and
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, I'm a big fan of celebrating the saga, all of it. Lewis, you mentioned you want it all on your list. Yep, I agree. So 22 is going to be Bodhi Rook. He's slipped down quite far in my rankings, not because I want him less. Just, number one, he doesn't have a lightsaber. That's not good for your chances on my list. And he's really here as kind of a representation. Spoiler alert, I don't have Saw. I don't have Luthen. I don't have Baze on my list. He's here to kind of represent, hey, Rogue One is here. Complete this team, complete this theme, really dive into this era. He's just my preferred and favorite character from those remaining characters to choose from. So he makes the list. And again, I always say it, I love Riz Ahmed so much. So number 21 is going to be Little Leia. She also slipped down in the rankings. Again, doesn't have a lightsaber, so there you go. We do already have her droid Lola in the line with the Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan. I never want to see the Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan legs again, but I would love to see the Lola again packed in with Little Leia. We don't get a whole lot of kid figures, which is odd to me with how Star Wars is many main children. I mean, you have all the skeleton crew, you have little Anakin, you have little Luke and Leia, even young Ezra, even though he's not as little. The kids, the young Jedis, the young, adventurers, they're a key component of the Star Wars saga. So also I would like to just round out and have a solid duo of the main characters for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, since she has a lot of screen time there.
Yeah.
Oops, wrong way. Again, Palpatine, Sith Eternal has made my list. I don't know if I need to say anything else. It's already all been said by Lewis and Tyler, but yes, we need this look. Force Awakens, Han Solo. Now, this is one at number 19. This is one that I was actually pretty bummed that we didn't even get. Force Awakens 10th anniversary. I know the 10th anniversary is not a huge milestone necessarily, I guess, how we prioritize anniversaries. I thought it was pretty neat. I really wish we could have at least gotten one figure as just a throwaway to celebrate that 10-year milestone. And I think a Force Awakens Han Solo would have been great. I actually did just recently rewatch Force Awakens on its anniversary, and man, it's just such a blast. And Harrison Ford is firing on all cylinders in that movie. He is a delight to watch. And I just think it'd be really nice to have that version. We now have the definitive A New Hope version, complete with fat wrists. I would like to see Hasbro do some more versions of the character, and this one is my most wanted of the next one for them to do. Shared tooling and all that. I know, John, we've talked about it before. He would have to use pretty much all new parts. But that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about
his
this.
pants are different than like the
he doesn't have the
blood stripes.
Carillion blood stripes.
Really?
That's a whole other topic. But,
Yep.
He's got a new jacket
I
as well.
noticed that.
yeah.
Yep.
Some I think it's the same.
They
jacket,
talk
but
about
it's
it in the
new
movie.
Yeah.
New jacket.
Yep. So, but I mean, I wouldn't mind if they found another way to release Han from A New Hope. Maybe they could do another Evolution style pack, that Journey of pack, and get the A New Hope version out with wrists that don't look like he was stung by all the bees in the world. Yeah, that'd be nice. Number 18. Number 18 is going to be another Palpatine, Jedi Arrest. That would go nicely with Saci and Aegon. We would just need a Mace Windu and a Kit Fisto to round out that Jedi Arrest scene. Yeah, I do. We mentioned that the Black Series version is inaccurate. I would like a more accurate version for us if they're going to do it. So. Number 17 is Luke Skywalker, and I'll pair this with number 16, Leia Organa from the Jedi training flashback from The Rise of Skywalker. They've been on my list in years past. I think I've dropped them recently, but they're coming back just because it's really neat. I want a Jedi Leia figure really bad. This is the only on-screen time we ever saw Leia as a saber-wielding Jedi trainee. We're getting a book later this year, I think called Legacy, which is about Leia training Rey in that post Last Jedi, in that in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. So hopefully we'll learn more about what her Jedi training looked like. I thought the scene was pretty neat. It was a neat little tease for what could have been, what we could see, you know. So I like it.
Can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Even if you absolutely hate the sequel trilogy, right? In both timelines, the EU and the sequel trilogy, Leia goes on to become a Jedi and is trained by Luke. So you could use these figures in the ultimate, the alternate timeline in your like displays or whatever. I would buy the crap figures. I love the concept.
Yeah.
I think that was a very cool moment in the movie.
And these
can I say, oh, sorry. I was going to say, I had these on my list probably a few years ago and I took them off because I just kind of got to the point where I just felt like, am I just flogging a dead horse a bit? And this year I almost put them back on because I think it was Zenga Fate who did some concept cards of them and they just looked amazing. And I just kind of thought, yeah, do you know what? I kind of feel like I should put them back on my list again, but it's just one of those things of trying to squeeze them back on, isn't it? When you've got other things on there, but they would make great action figures.
Yeah.
And it's new versions of Luke and Leia, we've seen the main versions over and over again. Let's get some new versions at some point too.
And I see this,
like I said, it doesn't really have to have, if the sequel trilogy thing is a sticking point for you, it really doesn't even have to have anything to do with that.
Use your imagination.
Use your imagination. Yeah.
You could use the bodies and put different heads to make, Luke Skywalker's Jedi Praxium from, the Legends timeline and whatever, and have other trainees and whatnot. I did see a comment here from CT9973. My opinion is we have enough of the mains, need other background people or aliens. Sure. That said, I don't love having to ask and beg for main characters year in and year out. Unfortunately, I prioritize the characters that generally are more prominent. So on my list, but that said, I hope your list is full of background characters and aliens. Can't wait to see it. Next up on number 15, we've got Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. I think that's one that he's also been on my list in the past. He's fallen off. It's so different from the Survivor look. We do need it.
Completely different.
Yeah,
that's why when I put it up in my story the other day, I didn't check him because it's not
doesn't figure. And I put Second Sister in here as well as kind of a duo. It would just be really nice to get these, the main hero and the main villain of this first game, this incredible game, which is just barely older than Rise of Skywalker that we're asking for main villains and heroes from. 2019 was a bad year for us getting main heroes and villains from things. So
it's a good image too, because it's important. We, obviously we'd like to get her portrait as well as the helmet.
Yeah, definitely. Number 13. Let's see what else I have on here. Oh, Ahsoka Tano, Fulcrum from her Rebels look, kind of continuing to build out the world of the Ghost, continuing the Rebels theme. Ahsoka is one of those main characters that we like to, that should belong in the rotation since she's a main character. So this would be a great look. She currently only exists in 3 3/4 inch as an animated style 5 POA figure from the Force Awakens time. No good. Would really love to see this here to go with the Ghost crew. Similarly, we have from Rebels as well, Maul, Old Master. I used
good one.
An image here. Yeah, we have the incredible Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now we can have a Maul to fight that figure. We need it. It would be great. I really, really love that episode of Rebels. I love Maul's story, how it was fleshed out over the Filoniverse, have you. Just a lot of fun, and I would really love this look very much in the line.
So if I can say real quick, as I
Please.
mentioned earlier, it's kind of surprising that it's only been about a year since the Ghost arrived. Is that true? Feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, that was
Christmas 24.
Yeah, so just about a year. Yeah.
So we've still
so crazy.
Like everybody's moved on to other things, the next 2 HasLabs and whatnot. But we've only gotten Callus and Imperial Disguise Chopper this year from the Ghost. We need these types of characters to keep building it out.
They still got a lot of work to do on Rebels.
They do. I'd have to look. I can't think of it. I can't picture it in my mind's eye. But if they did this Maul, could they then reuse the head and the lightsaber and the legs, and maybe just do a new torso and or upper arms to do the Malachor version, the shirtless version?
Can't they reuse the legs from the Mandalore Maul anyway?
Yeah, I suppose they could. Yeah,
because they did like the active wear version from Rebels for Black Series using the same parts.
yeah.
as,
This is the active wear version. So
okay.
Excuse me
But-
while I
but
tweak out
sometimes he
because this is a
takes-
retool.
But sometimes he adds
I'm joking, I'm
adds
joking.
a hood or takes it away or adds extra gear on top and takes his shirt off and stuff. So there's a few things they can get from a Rebels mall.
yeah. All right, number 11. Let's see. Savage Press. I don't know if I really need to say much about it. John, you'd mentioned the Black Series digital sculpt exists. Now shrink it down because that looks nice and we want it.
Another 5-timer.
Yep, he's done well in this historically. I don't want to keep asking for him. Next up, Asajj Ventress, Bounty Hunter.
Yes.
Renewed interest in this one for me. We've got renewed storylines for Ventress now post Dark Disciple. Word of her death was greatly exaggerated, turns out, based on Tales from the Underworld. So she's back in play. We've seen her in Bad Batch since. This look just appeared in Black Series. It should be, I think people are getting it in hand now. Looks great. Looks nice. So I would love that for us. John, I know she's a favorite. This is a favorite version of the character for you.
Absolutely.
With just a different head sculpt. I think she's bald under the helmet in this. They could throw a different head on her to do a Dark Disciple with just some hair. That's the only difference. And that would go nicely with number 9, which is Quinlan Voss from the Clone Wars. Another one that Black Series is getting right now that looks really nice. I saw earlier, I think it was July through November, had commented new before redo, or sometimes new, sometimes redo, depends on who. I liked that.
Yes.
Yes. It's tough. Quinlan hasn't
Well
been on my
said.
list historically, but he was, when I was younger, was one of my favorite Jedi of all time from the Dark Horse era. I loved the Republic comics. I loved that era of storytelling. The John Ostrander, Jan Duersma stuff, so good. It's nice to see Quinlan get a little more love now. I'm jealous of the Black Series figure. I know I've kind of talked about some parts that they could reuse to maybe make him. I don't know, but I just want him. So a 2-pack of Dark Disciple would be great.
I rarely look at Black Series figures and think, oh, I really wish we had that. Like in terms of the quality and how good it looks. But that Quinlan does look like an amazing figure. And
That is an
you
amazing
look at
figure. Yeah.
just the images of it and you just think, wow, that's that I want that.
Yeah. I will say the Black Series version uses I think their Jedi Legend Obi-Wan legs. Good for them. I don't want them to do that for us because we've talked about it. I've talked about it till I'm red in the face. I'm sure you guys don't want me to shut up before I even say it. I never want to see those legs again in the line. I don't want those low knees anymore on any of these characters. So
Also,
you would need some different legs.
the Quinlan that we have in Vintage Collection is based on some background extra from Phantom Menace that they're like, years later, they're like, oh, that's the guy from the comics.
Yeah,
Or the
Quinlan
guy from the
Voss
comics is gonna be that
asterisk.
guy. Yeah.
So, yeah. Number 8, Ezra Bridger, Peridia. Obviously, we've talked about it. A big glaring omission we need here. We have Ahsoka. We have Sabine. We need the third in that trio that goes and storms the castle.
Yes.
It'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the night troopers they fight, of course, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 7, Yaddle from Tales of the Jedi.
Yes.
I've been asking for this one for years now. And very much a lot of shared tooling between this and Yoda, if they were to do a new prequel Yoda. A lot of shared parts. We really need a definitive one. Now, I do worry about these small characters and how Hasbro seems to have difficulty now with small parts that are articulated, things showing up fat or overly and comically large, like helmets and stuff, removable helmets, some stuff with wall thickness. I don't know. I don't know the details behind it. All I know is that I want a Yoda and I want a Yaddle. The Tales of the Jedi episode, The Sith Lord, is awesome. Yes, I want it now. Or whenever you'll make it for me, Hasbro, hopefully soon. So number 6 is going to be Marak there. I hope I said it right. We've already talked about it. Another
So many
glaring
points.
omission.
I love it. Yes.
Right? This one's a gimme. I think of the Praetorian Guard that we have on our list of mines at 23, looking at the Black Series one, where the Black Series collectors seem to let that figure languish, and it seemed to be overproduced. But Marak seems to, they struggled to meet the demand for that figure. That's one that was hard to come by, and I think does retain at least MSRP or commands a higher value on the secondary market because it was a good figure. I hate to say it. I have this figure. I've opened it. It's a lot of fun. I want it in TVC. I wanted my preferred line.
Didn't
I-
it have a slightly weird paint color to it?
It
Yeah,
did.
that
They
was the
added
only
a
thing.
little bit. They went a
Too
little
much rust or
rust.
something.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I see a comment from HoloNet One, $20 Yaddle, LOL. Yeah, I don't set the price. I'm not asking for a $20 Yaddle. I want a Yaddle, however they need to get it to us. It is still a figure. If they need to load her up with accessories, yes, I do want to see the value. I'm not here to discuss the value of this. I just want the character. So, let's see. Number 5, Keller and Beck. So we're in my top 5 now. Keller and Beck.
Oh, yes, Keller.
Yeah, I wanted to, I think I've talked about it in years past. It's just really great to kind of have that healing moment as a fandom with Ahmed Best and his return to Star Wars, and, you know, his candor around his experience with it. And I just loved that scene of Kelleran saving Grogu. And I hope to see more of Kelleran, be it in comics, be it in shows, animation, live action. It's just such a cool character design. I mean, come on, man. They could also reuse these parts again, getting a little Looney Tunics with it. Plenty to reuse here. So, number 4, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Obviously. So, this is one that I think about. It keeps me up at night that we don't have this figure. It bums me out. It is so weird. Our Rey doesn't have anyone to go with. If they had to make this figure be a pathway to make very easy partial tool other versions of Kylo Ren from both the sequel trilogy and the Marvel Comics, the Legacy of Vader stuff. There's plenty of different looks for this character that they could do. Maybe we'll talk about one in a sec. But also, if they wanted to do a 2-pack to kind of cost it out, since we're talking about sort of these things, a 2-pack, a showdown pack with Rey, where that figure is hard to come by now, the Rise of Skywalker Rey. If they did an update, they did some different photo real on her, or maybe a new head sculpt, since it's kind of showing its age. It was a little experimental then. And if they added new lower legs that had rocker ankles and did a 2-pack, be pretty rad. Be excited about that. Let's see. All right, number 3. Sorry, I'm going to try to speed through these. Going back to Tales of the Jedi, Jedi Dooku. I've talked about this figure on many, many shows. We talked about the tooling. Not going to talk about the tooling right now. Just want it. Tales of the Jedi made me a Dooku fan. I get it now. I want him. So, number 2, Jackie Lan. Lewis, you mentioned it when she was on your list. I'm not going to get greedy and ask for any more figures from the Boo Hiss show that everybody hates. Whatever. I love the Kofar action sequence. Love that lightsaber fight. I love it so much. Yes, I want all those. I want all those red shirt Jedi. I want them very much.
I actually watched the show again recently, and it's got some of the best lightsaber battles we've ever seen.
Yeah,
hands down. Like the show or not, there's just some really great scenes. So how can you not like that?
Absolutely. And it would give our May figure someone to share a diorama or a photo with, because they interact. She fights the stranger. We all know how that goes. The tooling for Jackie as well would go far, because it doesn't have the piping on the tabards. It would go far for other female Jedi from both the Acolyte, from the prequels, from Legends, New Jedi Order
Baltar
stuff, a
Swan.
Jaina, a Baltar Swan. There's a lot that they could do if they started getting just a little more of this basic style female Jedi tooling. But Jackie is awesome. I would love to see her immortalized in our collection. She really is the key piece missing for me from what I want, just to kind of close the book on that show moving forward, so I don't have to embarrass myself asking for more and degrade myself to you people for this. But yeah. All right, which leads me to number 1, and it is making a triumphant return to the top of my list. It is #Bring Me Ben Solo.
Yes.
John, can you zoom in on my shirt here? Yeah.
Solo layout perfectly.
Yeah.
They'd bring back Ben Solo if they weren't cowards.
Yeah. So I brought him back to the top of my list. My most wanted figure, and we need him. We just need him, man. We've talked about it. It's the last Skywalker. With all the hullabaloo going on with the hunt for Ben Solo stuff that we heard about last year, which broke my heart every day new stuff came out about it. It was just like, oh, life can get worse. Cool. Good to know. So it's a sobering reminder. So I would love at least to maybe patch the hole in my heart with a figure of this character. So anyway,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, that's my list.
Beautiful.
Apologies for all the stuff that you may hate on it. But otherwise, I'm happy. I want this. There was a ton that I wanted to put on here. I had a hard time narrowing my list down from like 35. I had 10 extra slots that I was like, I don't know what to do. So
It's
There's a
beautiful.
lot of glow sticks
Can-
up there.
Can I
Yeah.
just add to the Ben Solo thing as well? We recently did the top most liked posts of the year
Mhm.
on SWTVC, and the second most liked post of the whole year was Evan's 3-pack idea of the Ben Solo, the journey of Ben Solo, was it?
the Odyssey of Ben Solo. I was
The
getting a little
Odyssey of Ben
froggy with
Solo.
those names.
Yeah, it was the second most liked post of the whole
Yeah.
year. So, you're not alone. People do want to see that character.
And, again, if they did Ben Solo or Kylo Ren first, I think both are incredibly important. Kylo Ren is obviously the safer bet because he's got the more mass appeal. I get it, whatever. But, they'd share legs. And then also, if they spent the money on the new legs for him, guess what? Those legs, they're also great for generic, prequel Jedi or generic Sith. They're really, really solid reuse opportunity there. So
I didn't
That's
realize
it.
how close they are to Anakin's.
I know we talked about that. It's one strap around the ankles is
Yeah.
the only difference.
I'm like,
I
how
know, John,
badly?
you want to say good enough.
Does
No,
one
they don't.
strap qualify for close enough? Maybe not. Not for you. And that's I won't say that.
Do it right. Do it right. So anyway,
She's
thank you,
born
everybody.
Beautiful. I also like seeing the new wave of Black Series with all the lightsaber wielders between
Yeah.
the Seventh Sister, Quinlan Voss, Jedi Dooku, and Kyle-Katarn doesn't need to be on any of these lists.
Yeah.
But I like seeing a lot of these
Yeah,
characters.
I got a Kylo on my list.
Also, you clearly beat Tyler for the lightsabers. It was close, but even Han Solo is a lightsaber wielder in the original trilogy for a brief, shiny moment.
True enough. True
Leia
enough.
and Palpatine.
That's true. That's
and then
Yeah.
the Praetorian
I,
guards fight. They can fight people with lightsabers. And
My
not
list
well,
is
but they do. Yeah.
my list is sectioned for the Jedi, like the saber wielders that I'm most excited about, to then a little run of characters that don't wield lightsabers, but I think is important to ask for, and then HasLab. So
yes, and Leia and Palpatine, they wield lightsabers, and
later in
Bo-
different ways. Yeah.
Bodhi is near a kyber crystal for some of the movies, so I'll call them all lightsaber wielders.
Bless you, sir. So
Another great
Sweet.
list, though, Evan. Good list.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
all right. Well, now here's the list.
Kind of gets nuked by a giant lightsaber.
Do you think
if
that
about it.
was wacky?
Yeah. If you thought anything was wacky here, oh boy.
Buckle up.
Here we go.
What do
Here we
you
go.
got for us, John?
It's the same as most of the years. Here's the most surprising thing: 25 and 24. Apologies to Tanith. I'm asking for a couple redos here. They were also on my last figure standing list. Number 25, Aegon Kolar. Number 24, Stacey Tien. Again, as you guys said, I want them from the HasLab. They looked like great figures. They would be great. I don't know if Arlyle's coming as part of that 4-pack. I think everybody's assuming that. Everybody was guessing on a recent post Steve Evans put out, and he was on like every single guess. But
it would be
maybe these
hilariously frustrating if he wasn't.
yes, but these guys would also be awesome in some sort of future Jedi multi-pack or something. And I will say, before anybody rage quits over anything in my list, go submit your list at the Linktree,
Yes,
linktr.ee/SWTVC. Go submit your list. If you like anything on my list, put it on your list. If you don't like anything on my list, put something else on your list. We love it all, okay?
Yep.
Having said that, number 23, of course, Kane Addis. Candy Cane. Tis the season. So again, one of just the weirdest glove shadows of all time. I don't even know what its full body looks like. And again, here's another redo from this year, but I said it was probably my favorite figure of the year, Hammerhead. I just love seeing what Hasbro can do when they break out of the mold of just, troopers and regular looking people, which are all great, but I want to see some cool engineering and deco on something like this. So number 22, who was also on Brandon from the brand team's most wanted Black Series list, which I thought was very cool, is Padme Amidala in her lakeside gown.
Heck yeah.
Which I know Tanith was advocating earlier for Padme Imperial Declaration, which is also one of my most wanted Padmes. And we are finally, I can say this for the first year of doing this March Madness list, we are getting a Padme in Vintage Collection soon in the Geonosis version, but let's branch out a little bit, make some never-before-made Padmes too, please, and thank you.
That's my wife. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah. Also on Brandon
Is,
from the brand
is Clay
team's
going to
list.
be on your list? We'll find
Oh,
out.
we'll
Sorry.
see.
The
Oh, what, Evan? What?
I was just gonna say also on Brandon's list that you called out, he also had another character on
Yes,
there.
yes, and and perhaps it'll be on mine as well shortly. All right, number 21. She's been on a few, but I gotta jump for Frog Lady. She's back. We know her species is Kerm Ribbit now, and maybe now that we're finally getting some reference books for the Mandalorian in the lead up to the movie, we'll finally learn her name. Maybe she'll be in the movie. Who knows? Anything is possible. Dream big this new year, everybody. But we need her to go with the Razor Crest and the Cantina and the Maldo Kreese set.
I want the Adventures of Frog Lady and Zeb. I want them to be the Rangers of the New Republic.
Why not? She's got kids to protect. She's got mouths to feed. She's a Cantina patron, so maybe she's in the 4-pack. I don't know. Maybe I'll update my list. But number 20, another hashtag. We got a hashtag. Do it for Dryden.
Yep.
I agree with Lewis. It's the same. And you know what? Let's reveal number 19 too, because these guys were in the same wave. Maybe not the same love from Vice Admiral Holdo, but one of the all-time greatest actresses, Laura Dern. We gotta love her. Both Holdo and Dryden were in the same wave of Black Series when we started to just not get the same characters anymore, which was a big frustrating moment. We are getting the Padme. Padme was in that wave, so we are finally getting her. But again, we've had her many times.
Mace Windu was also in that wave.
Mace Windu and the Battle Droid, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
So but these two were never in any 3.75-inch line. Dryden's a main villain. Holdo's a main, an important character from Last Jedi. Neither of them were made in the 5 POA lines. So I want them. Another sequel trilogy character, so brace yourselves. But it's Finn. He's been on my list every year from The Rise of Skywalker. We got Finn in the Vintage Collection, at least, a repack. Outdated repack a couple years ago, and we got a 5-inch cartoony Galaxy of Adventures, Galaxy of Heroes, whatever it was called, Finn a couple years ago, in one of these new lines they create every year instead of just focusing on what has been working for nearly 5 decades.
Yeah.
But
Love it.
let's round it out with one more sequel character, another character from Brandon's list, Ben Solo. Bring me Ben Solo. The hunt for Ben Solo continues here. Maybe I'll put him higher. I don't know. I have time to edit, but
Can you highlight John Meeker?
I was going to. Yeah. John Meeker writes, John, you should dye your stash purple and support a Holdo.
I am actually going to see Laura Dern at a screening of Wild at Heart in a few weeks, so maybe I'll do it.
Go in a Holdo dress.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Get some viral moments going for her placement on the March Madness list. But so obviously what hasn't been said about Ben Solo on the stream already, but hearing the news of that movie, great filmmaker, Adam Driver excited about it, Lucasfilm excited about it, everybody excited about it except the executives at Disney. Disappointing. It would have been awesome, and I hope somehow they're able to figure out. Somehow Ben Solo returned. There you go. I figured it out for you. Not that hard. Just say it and move on. And a great actor, great filmmaker. I would love to see it happen. So or at least a TVC figure. So the fact that he's on Brandon's radar for at least for Black Series, hopefully, he's been on the radar for Vintage Collection as well.
As I've been assured many times, nobody actually wants that figure, John, but he's been on the bracket 5 times.
Yes. Zinger fixes. Believe it or not, people like these movies when they don't have people in your ear telling you they suck. A lot of Ben Solo love, yes. Another fan. I'm seeing some Finn love. I love to see it, folks. Get them on your list. All right. If that's not wacky enough for you, we got to go back to one of the OG wacky characters of Star Wars, number 16, Jackson. I love him. Who you calling Rabbit? But a Bugs Bunny reference because he called everybody Jackson. But he was in Black Series a couple years ago. He used X-Wing Luke and Tatooine Luke parts. Now that we have a Tatooine Luke, they could use his legs for Jackson. I would absolutely love to see it. Another one that's been in Black Series. We were asking for a 3.75 Jackson for decades. They put him in Black Series first. Yes. See? Careful what you wish for. When it comes to TVC, you can be sure the middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures costume department will get to work. Another thing to look forward to.
I didn't mean to laugh in the middle of what you speaking, John, but that just killed me.
But let's bring it back to the modern era. Number 15, also on Lewis's list today, Kino Loy. Again, great actor, great character, great speech, great episode. Still probably the Gorman arc in season 2 was incredible. A lot of great stuff this season, but I still think the prison arc was my first favorite Andor arc.
Yeah.
And again, it's a character that can immediately be reused 100 times with different heads, and people can buy them put them in an army builder pack, do a Cassian, do a Melshi, all these characters. But yes, all right. Number 14, another new character, another one from Evan's list, Keller and Beck.
Yes.
Love Ahmed is the best. He's named as such. And an awesome Jedi, awesome moment. Again, maybe we'll see another flashback in Mando movie. I don't know. He's got a comic book coming out soon or recently. I don't really follow the comics anymore, but it's a one-shot, right?
Yeah, I think so. And he was on the cover. What is it? Those Jedi, the Jedi
Yes,
Knights comic.
that's it. Yeah, because Ahmed Best posted a picture. He was on the cover of another comic that he wasn't actually in, but then he is getting an actual one-shot comic that I believe was co-written by Ahmed Best or written by him this year. So I got to check that out. So, and 13 and 12, Tanith, I hope you're still watching. I saw they were number 1 and 2 on your list, but I got to go for my boys, Kitster and Wald. Again, they are wacky, but they are unmade characters from the Phantom Menace, speaking roles. Pretty big, he's the best friend of the main character of the saga, for people, for God's sake.
Darth Vader's best friend.
Darth Vader's best friend. And they've shown up a few times again, but I feel like if they make an episode 1 Anakin, they can make a Kitster. Just find it would be Wizard, of course. Ask them every year, they got to be on there. Let's keep it going with the kids table here on this holiday season. It's number 11, Neil from Skeleton Crew. He was obviously,
Neil Nation.
Neil Nation, rise up. And then let's go to number 10 too, because my boy Lump.
Oh God,
Lumpy's here. We got the holiday special Chewie a couple of years ago, and we got nobody to go with him.
Oh man.
But I want more. I love Skeleton Crew. I thought it was great. I thought maybe people need to revisit it or something, but kind of flew under the radar. We only have Jod, but Neil was great fun. When we were at Celebration Japan, my wife was going around looking for. We need more Neil merch, for God's sake. There's not enough Neil T-shirts, or at least. But so yeah, some of these maybe Lumpy can use it.
It's funny. My daughter collects Funkos, and she doesn't really do Star Wars. But after watching Skeleton Crew, that was one team she wanted to pick up. And Neil is just so hard to get. He's obviously just popular. I mean, just people snapped him up. It's a new alien, new type of character. I think people just go for that type of thing, don't they?
Yeah,
or a lot of people do.
Yeah.
These comments are killing me.
Well, someone had mentioned non-joke comment. Someone had mentioned want new collectors. You need to make kids. Might bring younger fans in. I mean, yeah.
I think we need to stop putting that avatar up there because it's making me uncomfortable. But I'm not trolling you, but Lumpy is a crazy pull. And yes, he's back. He's been on my Las Vegas standing once or twice, but I think I pulled him off this past year. All right. I was just talking about my wife, and this guy also likes to talk about his wife.
Oh, boy.
Because Shmi's my wife. Klieg, I got to have my boy Klieg. Another one, it seems crazy, but he is, back in the day, I've said it before, back in the days of the prequels, when they were making literally every freaking character on screen, every costume, every little background character, every speaking role, there were just a few that they never got around to. Klieg, again, the stepfather of Darth Vader. I don't know, maybe not that important. Your father's brother's sister's cousin's roommate, whatever they say. But he and Kitster and Wald are kind of in the same vein of characters that interact with the main characters that have just never joined the line. Not the most exciting. I'm fully aware of that. Would not be great sellers. Fully aware of that. But yes, I want every character of Star Wars. Number 8, another wacky Tatooine character, Pelimato, who is maybe she'll crack the top 10 this year. We don't know. But I believe she was on Las Vegas Standing this year. She was number 11 on March Madness last year. Again, she goes with the Cantina, the Razor Crest, the N1. Would be awesome. See Tanith. Yeah. Again, if nobody gets me, I know Tanith gets me. Thank you. Best list of the night. Say it again for those in the back. We need new stuff. We need wacky stuff. We need lightsaber wielders. We need blaster wielders, but we need red robed evil guys. We need some crazy glove shadows too, and fun characters. We need fun characters. I'm here for the fun of Star Wars, folks. But all right, even though maybe from a controversial show, number 7, Jackie Lon. Yeah. Said it before. Yes. Say it again. We need her to kind of at least complete the main characters from the Kofar sequence, even though some of them are in different outfits and there's a lot of red shirts there. But she's my most want. She and the Stranger were both on my list last year, pretty high up. But need her to complete at least the Stranger battle.
Absolutely.
Now that Stranger's coming soon, maybe she'll follow up soon behind. I don't know, maybe not, but I want her. Oh yes, here's a good pull. Damn, We need
Yeah.
Marshall Lump too. The guy from the Pepsi commercials
Hmm.
or on episode one.
Marshall Lump.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, with little four-armed Pepsi cans. Well, if we don't get that four-armed character, maybe we can get this four-armed character. Number 6, Ponkrell, my boy. He's been on my
Wow,
list
pretty
every
high
time.
on your list.
He's been at least in the top half of my list every year, around there anyway, and my last figure standing list and everything. But
Points galore.
been on my, when I used to have Huang on here, it was a lot of characters that, again, with the prequels and the Clone Wars, they covered so well for a very long time. And then around season 4, 5, 6, they just stopped covering it nearly as well. So never got an animated version or otherwise of Ponkrell, but it'd be awesome to see. He won a couple years ago, but I think I'll keep pushing until they make him.
It was hard for
yeah.
me to not put him on. Sorry, he
No,
was on the bubble on my list, and it was hard for me to not put him on. I was doing the whole, has the message been sent? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
same.
I don't know. Trey Rich says, couldn't agree more. I like the strange, fun-looking characters. That foul four-armed Fink. I couldn't have said it better. But, all right, so another Clone Wars character that has moved up, I think she moved up 10 positions in my list this year, but has been on my list every single year, is Asajj Ventress in her Bounty Hunter look, where, again, she has been on my list every year, and then out of nowhere, she gets made for Black Series finally, which was insane, which is awesome, and of course, I bought her, and she's on the way. Yell at me if you must, but if
I knew that
made
was going to freak you out.
I was like, man, I've been asking for this for years. I wanted her for a decade. Finally put her out, and it's in the wrong scale. So, whatever. We got the sculpt. Let's shrink her down. She looks great. And they can reuse at least some of the parts for her Bad Batch version, and like you said, the Dark Disciple version and stuff, the Tales of the Underworld versions. All these things, but let's start with Bounty Hunter Ventress. All right, then 2 more animated characters I've been asking for years now that we badly need. We can show them both. It's number 4, Wrecker. Number 3, Tech. So I want Echo as well, but I got to finish the main core for the Bad Batch first. And I'm assuming they will do well again this year. We finally got Crosshair this year. I can took him off my list. And yeah, I still need these guys as well. Number 2, he took it all the way for last figure standing. And he's always very high in March Madness. We got to loosen up and get Rail with my boy Luthen Rail. Yes, it is the green coat version from the beginning of Andor season 1 that goes with the Cassian Andor that we have. Again, put him on a bike. I don't know. I know he didn't sell that well in Black Series. I don't care. Make fewer of him. Give him an action-packed vehicle or something. I don't know. Give him a playset full of bricks or whatever to really piss off all
Bricks
the right
and screws.
people.
Yeah.
Bricks and screws. But I don't know. He's a great figure. It would be an awesome, great character. He's an awesome character, great actor. Again, I want him. What can I say? When we talk about iconic characters, when we talk about evil characters, when we talk about important characters of the Star Wars universe, we got Darth Vader's, stepfather. We got his best friend. We need his boss's advisor. We need sweet Simalu, number 1, of course. And yes, no client on here. I should have put the client on here, but so many options to choose from. But again, he is wacky, he is weird, he is bizarre, but he is the only unmade, unupdated Kenner original 96 figure. We got to finish the 96. It's long past time. We're getting a new Greedo, kind of Greedo on the card that we already got. A figure already have and a card we already have put together. That's one to cross off the 96. We're getting, General Veers on the card we already had. But so they're aware of the original 96. I just would really love, the actual final Kenner figure that was never updated. We need a lot more, in vintage still, of course, but they'll be on other people's lists. I'm sure of it. But I got to have my boy Sweet Simalu. And again, even though I have the Carbonite version from Ben Mund, I need everybody to experience the joy that I have when I look at this figure.
It looks great.
Revenge of the Sims,
That
Sweet
is great.
Simalu and Carbonite. Ben Mund. I need how happy I was when I got this. I need everybody to feel that joy and get Sweet
It
Simalu. So yes,
This could be your year. Could be your year.
it could be the year. It could be the year. I feel like he's got to come for the 50th anniversary, right? That's got to be. I want all the crazy things from the 50th year. I want all the figures that we've been begging for decades. The Jacksons of the world, the Lumpies of the world. Maybe not, Lumpy I've been begging for anyway. a celebration of everything of the saga, original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, everything in between, before it, after it.
Yep.
All
I'm
right.
really surprised,
And
John, that Dash Rendar isn't your number one.
I thought about for a second. I thought about trolling everybody and putting him at number one, but absolutely, he is not even close on there.
I re-listened to our Ewok
Purple theme, yes.
our Ewok episode of the show, and was like, I wonder if John's gonna actually be crazy and put Teak on his list.
Yes, I haven't yet. We at least have the Teak already, but
Yeah.
you know, Noah could probably fit in with some of these characters.
Yeah.
But
God.
yeah, so you guys have the action packed. You put the action in action figure, and I want the wacky. I want the weird. I want to see how weird people's lists can get. I want to learn characters this year that I've never learned before. I want to be
always
up at,
do.
I want to be up at 3 a.m. learning about these random characters from one book 45 years ago. That's very important to someone, and I love it. So I want people to get weird. I want people to put what they want, even if nobody else wants it. Let's put it on there.
That's
All right.
the beauty
Right.
of it too. Is how boring would it be if we all wanted the same exact thing? So
Exactly.
it's fun to see all of the differences, all of the different niches, all the different priorities. So,
Yes.
but those are our lists. What are yours, viewers?
Seeing
Can
we
we
have
have
we have
quick-
we have 50
very
lists.
That's pretty good
Wow,
50
that's
lists
good.
already.
Yeah, that's good.
already. Since we haven't even made a post about it on Instagram.
I did
Oh,
it.
we did, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Never mind, I lied. But I'd like to just have a quick question time from anyone in the chat who's at all confused about how this works. I know we
I've
went
got an
over it at the
answer for how
beginning.
it works. It is rewind the stream.
I know.
But I'll say first
But-
again,
Yeah.
and yes, we'll repost the.
Yeah. Can we, before we do questions, can we actually just do, John, will you just go over the rules real quick? You don't have to do the whole spiel, but just bullet
Yeah,
points of
that's
the,
fine.
of the
Yeah,
rules.
Yes, and let me post the link tree again right here in the comments, and it is in the YouTube
Perfect.
comments. I did a story post about it. The rules one more time. We said the whole thing earlier. Number 1, submit your list on the form at the link. You can share it anywhere in the world, but to actually count it, you need to do it there. 1 list per person. If you're submitting a second list for a kid or something, let me know. Some of you in the comments here, I know you submit multiple lists, and I find them, so nice try putting it under your dog's email address or whatever. Rank your choices in order with your most wanted at number 1, as we said. I want Simalu most of all, so he's my number 1. Evan wants Ben Solo, Lewis wants Dryden Voss, Tyler wants somebody evil. I already forgot who your number 1 was. Rook. Yes, of course. So rank your choices in order with most wanted at number 1 because we use points. Number 4, be specific. If they have multiple looks, please specify the outfit, scene, or media property. And sometimes, again, we will condense some of them. And if it's left vague, we will put that towards the one with the most points. Number 5, 1 character per slot. So don't put the Bad Batch or the Knights of Ren, but characters like Clone Commando, Two Tube, Skeletons, and Great Mothers you can put on there because one begets all the others. Focus on new tooling. And again, as we mentioned, the Imperial officers, they'll have their moment in the sun for the Ultimate Battle Station. His poll coming up soon. More news on that soon. And then, most importantly, have fun and submit your list before Sunday, January 25th. So
Yes.
there you go.
And as a reminder, who makes it into the bracket every year? We tally up the points in mostly John tallies up the points in February. All these different lists. Again, last year it was like 1,200 plus lists, and tallies all those points together. And those are the characters that make it into the top 64, make it into the bracket.
Yes.
Choose your rankings carefully. The rankings matter. It's all based on points, we've said. So are weighted. They do matter. Every year I see comments, I didn't realize that the order mattered. Yes, it matters. Think about the order carefully because they all correspond to points.
Yes.
Points
I'm
matter.
seeing List and template made, submitted, posted. Thank you, everybody. List done.
Any questions from anyone in the chat? Go on, get in there.
People
I
are
did
saying,
see, I saw a
"Bring on
question.
the wacky."
I saw a question earlier. It may have been a little bit farther back. Oh, here we go. Dan Von Carr. does Kid Fisto's face change enough between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith to make the distinction on my list?
That's so when I count
That's a tough
that, I mean, I'll just do one Kit Fisto for the love of God. But I'll say if Kit Fisto makes the list, I'll say, 75% of people voted for Attack of the Clones, 20% voted for Revenge of the Sith, and 5% didn't specify, or 5% did Clone Wars, whatever.
If there's one you prefer, specify that. But
Loud dude, you were yelling at me about not wanting characters earlier, and I said most of the characters I would want, I have no idea what their names are. Sounds like you need to go experience some Star Wars for the next few weeks. Go enjoy yourself, see what's out there, open your mind a little bit. It's all good.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yes.
We're Star Wars fans, but are we supposed to like Star Wars? No.
The more you hate Star Wars, the bigger a fan you are, apparently. But again, so Linktree, if we can pop that up one more time, the everything in there. So if you want to share your list, we have the Evans.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me share the right thing.
Yep. But the in the Linktree, it's everything you need. It's the templates.
Yep.
It's the actual
Well,
voting.
I'm gonna ask everyone again to help us spread the word about this event everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, various fan sites like Bantaskull, JTA, Yak Face,
Rebel Scum
Discord.
forums,
Yep.
Like everywhere. I need you to talk about this stuff. I need you to share the link to make it easy for people, because if you don't make it incredibly easy for people, oftentimes they're just too lazy and they can't be bothered. That's
We've
just the truth.
done our
So,
part. We're trying to make this as easy as possible for you. We've put everything into one spot. There's the template that you can make if you want to, and it's fun to share that. We love seeing those lists, and it's all right here. So the link is in our Instagram bio as well. So just in case you're like, where can I find it? If you just think, Instagram, there, it's good.
And also talk about your favorite characters and why they're your favorite characters. Explain to people why they're your picks, because one, you may convince someone to jump on board with one of your choices. But also, we all have our own opinion, but if you put it out there, you can't be wrong. If you want a character because X, Y, and Z, it's not wrong. It's what you want.
Yep.
if you have YouTube channels, make videos about your list. That'd be great. The more exposure on every platform and whatnot that we can get, the better. Because again, we want to represent as much of the community's data as we possibly can. That's always our goal.
And we have
no stone left uncovered, untouched.
Thank you, Jim. We got John Mika from one Facebook group, Dean Lee from another Facebook group, TVC Dedalorian from another Facebook group. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Plaster it everywhere. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for anybody who shares, anybody who makes a list. I can't believe how much this has grown over the past 5 years. It's always fun to see it. Even as much as we complain about all the work we got to do, it is also a lot of fun to do it.
It's not just possible because of the support of, the people I'm sitting here on the stream with, Tyler, Lewis, and the absolute exhaustive work that you do, John, on this stuff. It wouldn't be possible without the folks like our Facebook brethren that are sharing it. It wouldn't be possible
100%.
without every single one of you watching this, every single one of you who submit a list. None of this would be possible without that engagement, without that support, without that passion. So it's really fun to be able to come together with all of you guys, all of you folks out there. Even if we want different things, it's still fun to come together on the commonality of what we want and what we love most about how we collect Star Wars and the line that we collect, and just for the love of the game of TVC. So thank you.
So here's one question that came up earlier. Scott Hensey, can I reuse my list to enter from last year or use a new list? You can do 25 brand new characters that you've never entered before. You can use the ones you've been asking for since 1977, but you have to enter it on the new Google form.
Yes, you have to re-enter it if that's what you're asking. It does not translate from years past.
Yeah, we're not taking any old lists from last year. We're taking what's submitted this month on this Google poll.
Yep. From now until January 25th is when we're going to be accepting those lists. So hopefully January 26th doesn't roll around and you think, oh crap, I didn't fill out my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying. Spread the word, guys.
I want to ask you guys and encourage you to help people understand that their voice matters. Hasbro is listening. Yes, they need you guys to really emphasize that these events matter. They're data, their wants matters. If there are people in comment sections around saying like Hasbro doesn't listen anyway, this is a waste of time, you know, blah blah blah, stuff like that. I need you to get in those comments and counter that narrative and say that is not true. Direct them to the evidence, which is how many figures they've made from previous tournaments, from last figure standing. Give them the proof. You know, the proof is in the pudding. It's in the line, right? Like
On my shelves.
Yep.
it's on our shelves. You're making a difference. I need you guys to combat that negative narrative that just is not true. I need you to get people involved.
The best way to ensure defeat is to be defeatist. So
Yes.
the
Don't
more
be
we
apathetic.
participate, the more we participate, the greater the numbers. You know, there's more of us, Poe. Like the greater the numbers, you know, the more weight that it gives all of this for Hasbro to look at these things and be like, oh, there's even more people asking for these things, or even more people getting passionate about these things. So,
Yep.
100%. I don't see any questions, but one guy asked earlier if we could address the HasLab Cantina Mexico issue real quick. Do you guys want to talk about that at all?
I don't know.
I don't have any expertise in it. We've seen what Yak Face
Other than
posted and
just like,
stuff. It sucks.
dude, that sucks. Like, I don't know what
my
happened
only
there.
comment is that I think Hasbro needs to address and fix this somehow.
Yeah.
Because my concern, first of all, it sucks for the people who order these, obviously. My other concern is how this shakes the faith, trust, and confidence in future projects. It's the really big thing. How much this has damaged future HasLab. People no longer have faith that that's a big thing that they gotta fix it.
Yeah, it shouldn't have
Or not.
happened. It shouldn't have happened. I don't know. And I will say at the very, yeah,
I don't see how that's happened. If you're taking pre-orders for something, how is it not available?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I will say though, at the very least, that what is it, the 1,500 Mexican dollars? I think that translates is that 85 US. Whatever the payout that they gave, I think it was just kind of insult to injury that it's like, hey, here's some money that you can use as like a sorry, but that money expires at the end of this month, so you have just like a 30-day window to use it. So it's, at the very least, that should have been a year-long coupon that you can just use on something that comes up there. So that's my final tisk on that. So, but yeah.
Anyway, not to wrap up on a negative, I just wanted to address that because someone did ask us to talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a big thing to talk about.
Jenna Georges is about to go full keyboard warrior for SWTVC.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
I think
Sweet.
we can wrap it up though.
Let's do it. Those are we've gone over our lists. Everybody get out there, start sharing your lists. If you need some time to think about it, you still got a couple weeks. So just make sure it's in before 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on January 25th. I'll put the graphic back up again. Submit your list, share your graphic, post about it. As we've been saying, share. I mean, don't be too annoying about it, but like, hey, is there such a thing? Look at us. So, but I want to see all these lists. And if you do have any questions, ask your fellow collectors, because there's plenty of folks that have been doing this for 5 years now. This will be their 6th time going through it. We're kind of a well-oiled machine. So ask around. People may have answers around you, but at the same time, don't hesitate to get in the comments on stuff and ask us as well. And we'll try to make sure we don't want anybody to feel unprepared or caught off guard or like they can't participate. So
yes.
Anyway,
and if we don't see every single comment on every single site, I'm sorry, but our DMs are open, and you can hit us on SWTVC on Instagram or these individual handles.
I'm pretty plugged in.
Yeah.
Especially this month. Work will suffer, but
And if you need help with a Photoshop job, don't ask me, but ask another friend. Say, hey, anybody can help me with my list.
Yeah, my capacity might be a bit full. I might not be able to help. So, but yeah.
Or if you don't know the name of one of your background glup shittos or whatever, apparently, just ask around. We got a big brain trust in this community. Everybody, there's always something new to explore, and there's always something new to learn here. But
yeah. So Make sure you are following us at SWTVC on Instagram, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on this video so that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Also hit that like button while you're there as well. Spread the good word. If you are just catching the end of this and are curious on how the rules go, rewind back to about 2 hours and 48 minutes ago and watch from there, and we'll go over it all over again for you. Other than that, guys, is there anything else we need to cover before we get out of here?
I think so. Just thank you everybody who watched, and thank you everybody who will
thank you.
participate.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you,
It's
Evan,
very
for
important.
jamming on all this stuff. Thank you guys for being here.
Oh,
Thank everybody.
yes, God bless us, everyone. Happy 2026, everybody.
Happy New Year,
Thank you guys for being here on the stream with me. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Again, the link is on the corner here, also on this graphic that we're showing. And we'll just close it on that. As always, keep 375 alive, back TVC, submit your top 25 lists, and may the force be with you. Thanks, everybody.